How we doing? Uh, Double check my stream. Let's see here. Okay, come on. Good enough. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. Anyways, I wanted to go ahead and add my 2 cents into all the drama that our lovable creationist G-Man over here decided to throw out this weekend. The sexual harassment claims and the racism claims and stuff like that, I'm not really going to touch on a whole lot, just for the simple fact that, everyone's already seen that. G-Man is jumping around on Irate Alex, Hannibal Amani, Black Eye TV, all these other guys that, I believe it was Rev making the comment to G-Man that Black Eye TV called him a gorilla, which, Rev admitted that he didn't watch the entire thing. He said he cut out fairly early. And needless to say, Lubis, yes, I did see your video. I even made a comment on it. I didn't realize you'd be up already, or you'd still be up. But yeah, apparently Rev made comments. G-Man took them as gospel truth, and needless to say, did not confirm anything, on it. So when he went to confront Black Eye TV, he just flat out asked him, he's like, did you even watch that video? Because I didn't call you a gorilla once. Okay, the simple fact that the simple fact that G-Man didn't do any type of research whatsoever or anything like that, it's ridiculous. Yeah, so I'm not really going to get into that a whole lot because, that's already been covered quite a bit. He's also promoting mass flagging, which actually mass false flagging, obviously, because, he doesn't have the grounds to actually flag. I'm going to do this that way I'm not getting reflections. Yeah, needless to say, it's really annoying. But anyways, since you're in my chat, this is the thing that actually caused me to lose a few days worth of stream time. This thing took about 3 full days to print off. It's my new little mask. Hopefully I can, make Hannibal a little jealous. Still debating on a color scheme for it, and I've got to get had a slight layer issue up here. I had to cut it off and re-solder it, or re-weld it together, so I've got to sand that gap back down. Cartoon mask. No, actually, it is a it's a noob Cybot mask from I guess Mortal Kombat 11. At least that's what it is according to the file. But it's pretty decent. It fits me like a damn glove. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with the eyes, but I'm thinking about either just putting white out or possibly reflective lenses in there. Yeah. I'm actually debating on doing something for it for Halloween. I'm working on a new project for my Nerf channel as well. It's it's a full forearm mounted. It's a full forearm mounted Nerf gun that fires the rival balls, and it'll have a thumb switch to fire everything. So it's basically just point and switch, point and flick, and then it'll actually be connected to a pack of rival balls on my back. So it's going to be like a 2,000 round arm cannon. But I can't put that on my Nerf channel until it's done because too many people like to steal ideas. As far as my diet update goes, I finally got some financial assistance and some good advice. I completely forgot that eggs are carnivore, and since I can buy 5 dozen of those for $4, I can easily just basically run eggs only, and then pick up some ground beef or some steak when I can afford it. So that's gonna get back on it. I'll start keeping those up. Toys are for boys. Okay, let's see here. Hey, I do play with power tools. The only thing is my power tools, fit my hobbies. Like I said, I've got a very large 3D printer over here. That's considered a power tool. But yeah, I was chopping wood earlier today, though, unfortunately, which I don't recommend chopping wood when it's really hot outside because you tend to get sweaty. And needless to say, the axe slipped out of my hand, and let's just say that I'm very lucky to still have a foot left because the axe flipped. But I ended up, luckily, I was wearing my boots, but the back of the axe hit my foot, which does not feel very good. It's kind of hard to walk right now. But yeah, hopefully that doesn't impact my exercise too much. I mean, walking is going to be a little bit more difficult, but I actually have time to do that this week. Kids are starting their homeschooling. I'm going to end up having to basically do that for a few hours, and then I can, for their, I guess, PE, I can go ahead and run them around the yard, or we can go for a walk up the road and come back. I actually ended up 3D printing off some fitness dice, which is going to be interesting. It's basically just a couple of D6s that say, push-ups, burpees, lunges, sit-ups, jumping jacks, stuff like that. And then the other dice is, the number that you're supposed to be doing. I think it goes from like 5 to 25 or something. It's not a whole lot, but something that I can do in one shot. And Lucas, when I get my next project done on these Nerf guns that I'm messing around with, I will show you on stream how much that I can screw around with them, because they are definitely no longer toys after I get done with them. But anyways, I was going to go ahead and share something. Yeah, the thing is with G-Man, yeah, he's overstepped his bounds a little bit. He's starting to use his religion as a weapon, or I guess not starting to, but he's always used his religion as a weapon. The problem is G-Man doesn't like to be chastised. And I'm starting to understand a little bit more about the psychology behind what's going on with him. I don't think that he's intentionally, I don't think that he intentionally misinterprets things. The problem is like I was telling, or like I was saying to Dragon, his chat not too long ago, basically, G-Man is definitely not incredibly intelligent. We've all seen this. Okay, so the problem is what he has to do is when he hears something, he has to translate it into something he thinks he can understand. And the problem with that is when your mind kind of works like G-Man's, where it's, you know, not only, or not very, oh, what's the word? He has issues with, I guess, self-translation. So he hears something, his mind will try to translate it into something he can understand, and then he will respond to that. So basically, I mean, he's essentially got a straw man filter, which is very aggravating. You know, I was in his chat last week sometime when he basically challenged atheists to come in there and comment on his behavior. And needless to say, yeah, it wasn't all that great, because when he asked me where I was grounding my critique of his behavior, he turned around and tried to turn it back on me. Okay, when I told him that his behavior goes against socially acceptable behavior, you know, he immediately did not understand that. It went right into his ear and right back out as something that he thought he could understand, which is basically, oh, well, that's just subjective. Okay, socially acceptable behavior is not subjective. This is the agreed upon behavior that is socially acceptable. You know, that's the reason why we agree as a society that murder is wrong. We agree as a society that bigotry is wrong. Okay. The problem is G-Man can't think like that. So when he gets pissy and turns around and tries to throw it back at people, you know, he doesn't really bother listening to the things that people actually say about him. He's too busy concentrating on his, you know, his gotcha response, which is the reason why he you know, he jumped on the other guy that was in the room, basically saying that, you know, congratulations, you're no longer an atheist because you're using the Bible to prove me wrong. When the guy was talking about essentially the golden rule, and I'm sorry to say, but the golden rule goes as far back as, you know, the Code of Hammurabi, which is 800 years older than the Bible. So I mean, this is the kind of mentality that we're working with here. People did not wantonly kill each other before the Bible was written, because we already knew as a social species that killing people is not productive to society. So, I mean, the entirety of his thought process on that is just blatantly wrong. But I'm going to go ahead and share this. This is his, these are his very bigoted comments from the drunken peasants. See if I can get that right. Okay, yep, there we go. And hopefully I can hear volume on this.
Think he's attractive?
Yes, he does think I'm attractive.
I like women. All shapes. I mean, your woman, G. I like women all shapes and sizes. I shave pubic hair and everything, G, man. It's all shapes.
G-Man, do you have a woman in your life right now?
I think you might be sexually confused.
G-Man, do you have a woman in your life right now?
That's a secret.
Okay, how about this? If
Okay,
we
there we
had
go.
a segment that we ran called the G Spot, and we had you come on and we had you do kind of like a dating game with some women, would you be up for that?
Sure, why not?
I love it. We gotta figure that out soon. Have some fun.
I know a girl named Pimpisha, though, because some women are not my type.
What if
I know a girl named Pimpisha.
What if at least one of them has a penis?
No.
do you think you'd be able to tell?
Damn, G.
And real talk,
That'd be
if
a
I
good
ever
one.
dated a woman,
3
real
women.
talk,
Hold on,
real
though.
talk, if I ever dated a woman and that woman turned out to be a man or somebody had a sex change,
You suck that dick,
I'm
wouldn't you?
probably going to spend about 30 years in prison.
No, G-Man, don't say.
Okay, so first of all, right there. I'm sorry, I have a major issue with that right there. First of all, bigotry is something that G-Man has a major issue with, especially when it comes to this kind of thing. He is, I mean, the way I put it earlier was he's basically so far in the closet that he's pulling out the Griswold family Christmas gifts. Okay. What program do you use to do all that stuff? Making a little screen for you and a giant screen to play stuff. I have no idea how to do that. Oh, this is just StreamYard's or StreamYard. It's one of the ones that I use. I either use StreamYard or Zoom, or eventually I'll start using Streamlabs, where the whole where you can do the whole play and heist and stuff like that. Eventually, I still haven't learned how to use it yet. But like I said, G-Man has this major issue with bigotry. Okay, the threat that he just said right there. I don't know if G-Man thinks that that claiming that he's going to go to jail for 30 years, being a hate crime. Well, let's see here. New Jersey hate crime law. No, sentencing. Well, jail time. There we go. Okay, hate crimes in New Jersey. Extremely serious, has life-altering implications. Convicted, you'll face severe fine, prisons. Penalties and fines. I'm incredibly nearsighted. Sorry, let's see here. Okay, penalty for bias intimidation is directly proportional to the penalty for the underlying crime. In other words, bias intimidation is a crime 1 degree higher than the most serious underlying offense that you are being charged with relates to the alleged discrimination. For example, if you're being charged with bias intimidation due to committing aggravated assault, a 2nd degree crime in New Jersey, you will be facing a charge for 1st degree bias intimidation. When the underlying crime is already a 1st degree crime, bias intimidation charge will also be 1st degree. Make no mistake, if you are found guilty of bias intimidation, you will be sentenced for both the underlying offense and bias intimidation. This will lead you to face 2 punishments, 1 for an underlying crime, 1 for bias intimidation. In this example, you would go to prison for up to 10 years for the aggravated assault and up to 30 years for essentially the hate crime. So he's already, the way I see that is he has already looked up how much, he's already looked up how long he would go to jail for a hate crime. And the problem is no, go away. I hate looking up that kind of crap. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So he already knows that in the state of New Jersey, going to jail for a hate crime is automatically going to give you 30 years. I think you're just talking to me, a couple of Puerto Rican losers. Yeah, Lubis, yeah, I'm talking to you, but at the same time, I mean, hell, if you want, I'll give you the link. We can tackle this together, because you're a good guy. I think that you're just about as irritated as I am with this kind of crap. There you go. But yeah, I mean, G-Man has apparently already looked at the, what a hate crime can do, and he knows that it's for 30 years. It's interesting that he actually said 30 years, and okay. But it's interesting that he said he actually said 30 years, and then I go to look up what the penalty for a hate crime is in New Jersey. And suddenly, it's just happens to be exactly 30 years. It's kind of interesting on that one. But it's pretty sad that he actually, oh, there you are. Hey, Lucas, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man? I'm sorry. Keep talking. Keep talking.
Okay. I'm just trying to psychoanalyze G-Man again. I mean, I found it interesting that he's managed to say 30 years exactly on this, and I just did a quick Google search, and the penalty for a hate crime happens to be 30 years. So I'm starting to think that he actually has searched this up, but it's odd that he would have done that. I'm still not convinced though that he would have made that claim. I mean, the barbed wire and the baseball bat and all this other stuff that he was talking about. And I mean, at one point in time in this video, he actually mentions, taking the barbed wire bat and taking some lube, and then they ended up cutting him off. So, I mean, I know where he was going with that, and I mean, I'm pretty sure you do too. But it's like, dude, seriously, you need to knock that crap off. And then, of course, I guess in order to justify it, he turns around and makes the comment that a few years ago he would have just set them on fire.
Yep.
And
this was on Drunken Peasants or the Geek Room that he was doing this?
No, this was Drunken Peasants, apparently last night.
Oh, okay. I thought that show was over, but okay.
Well, so did I, actually. I haven't been subscribed to them for years, but it was like, okay, hold on a second. Somebody in the Discord said, oh my God, he's on Drunken Peasants. I was like, really? Let me go find that. And then, of course, he's been trying to do damage control all day today because of this. And it's like, okay, you're in the defense of yourself, you're just making yourself look even worse.
Yep.
And that's the reason why I decided to go ahead and throw my 2 cents in here too, because it's like, dude, you sit there and claim that atheists are hateful and all this other stuff, and it's like, I'm sorry, but in the scenario that they gave right here, if I was in a relationship with someone and that woman, turned around and ended up having a penis, I'm sorry, but that would.
Right. I mean, oh yeah, gross.
I mean, I'm a straight guy. Okay, it's for me, the relationship would be over because I was lied to, but at the same time, it wouldn't be violent, and that's the issue that I'm having right here. It's like, dude, you are literally using your religion as this weapon to just demonize anybody who doesn't agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I've said multiple times, I have no issues whatsoever with Christians. What I have issues with are these people right here. I mean, the fundamentalists that use their religion as a weapon that, and I mean, in my opinion, G-Man right now is acting no better than the freaking leader of the Westboro Baptist Church.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I mean, I'm from Oklahoma, they're just a hair north of me up in Kansas. And I mean, that's just, it's unacceptable. I could easily see him, sitting there picketing a soldier's funeral, talking about, homosexuals, or thank God for, for homosexuals killing dead babies or, anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, really, like, it, I think it really, his arch enemy, Dragnut, he has basically got him down to a T. I mean, at first I was just like, oh, this guy's just making fun of this guy like never before. No, but he's right. I mean, like the way he thinks, he uses Christianity as an excuse to be a terrible person, and how he's manipulative and vindictive, and then at the same time he's really stupid, and then just I mean, aside from all the funny stuff, the way he says it, I mean, god damn, dude, I mean, he's absolutely right. That's finally when he started making sense to me, because I was a Christian, and I know and I know all kinds of Christians. I know the casual Christians. I know the fake Christians. I know the misguided Christians, willfully misguided Christians, manipulative Christian. He didn't fit any of them, and I was like, I know Christians. I can't figure this guy out. And when you listen to the way Drag dissects just his, like the whole thing, how he thinks everyone thinks like him. How everyone's out to get you. or how even the funny stuff about he doesn't get analogies, figurative language, which I just thought like, God, that's fucking good. I mean, that's talk about low, but it's like, oh no, he's actually fucking serious, dude, and so.
Oh yeah, it's like trying to talk to what the hell's the guy's name? From Guardians of the Galaxy, Batista.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah. Like,
I could easily see saying something that's like, yeah, that went over your head. He goes, no, I'd have caught it. And I was like, no.
Yeah, I mean, that's really it. But then it also it all comes from the fact that for whatever reason, G-Man is an asshole. Okay, like
yeah, he is.
He's just not a good person. So all these like flaws that he has makes it worse. Like if he was actually like, a good guy, we would like, or the people he talks to, right? They would actually like kind of feel bad for him, right? And they'd be like, well, bro, hey, well, G-Man, okay, you don't understand this evolution. Let me explain it to you until I can help you. And I mean, dude, I could easily see Dragnet spending hours in teaching this dumb idiot who's eager to learn, and he would do it with joy, But the fact that he's a jerk, it just makes everything go to hell. So I mean, so G-Man is no Christian, I mean, he's a Christian in the sense that he believes in Jesus. That I'm convinced of. But aside from that, this is no Christian. Period.
Yeah.
Period. This is no Christian. So,
but no, I completely agree with you. Actually, that's what I was saying. I was actually debating on putting that in the title of this just to see if I could piss him off. Is G-Man isn't a true Christian.
Oh, it's rough, man. Because like it's so frustrating, And when I finally came to the realization, because you try rationalizing, you're like, how can I explain this thing to him, And when I finally came to the conclusion that he, I wouldn't even say probably, I'm sure of it. He has some sort of mental disability. I'm not saying he's retarded. I'm not saying he's autistic or, but there's something wrong. And then things start making sense because, okay, so his brain doesn't work correctly, which is why we're having this thing here, you know?
Oh, I can easily put him on the spectrum somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, because I can rationalize with a child.
Autism, probably Asperger's at the very least.
Something. I don't know what it would be. Like for me, like again, autism, broad. That's such a broad term.
Yeah.
Who knows what that is? I see G-Man, and I think of when me and you were little kids.
Mm-hmm.
When you would see that other kid, and you would say, "Is he all right?" Whatever that is, whatever you call that, that's what he is. And you mix that
not the kid eating. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we're not shitting on him. I mean, he wasn't the kid eating glue in class, but he was that kid that was off by himself.
Those are like kind of
is that kid okay?
Kids. Yeah. It's and again, that's why I don't know what to call it, because those ones where you're like, hey, is he all right?
Yeah.
These people, they can still have jobs. They're independent. Like they're not like drooling, but there's something off. Like, is he all right? Is there something wrong with him? There's a little something there, and mixed with the asshole, and you get this mess, But yeah, it's not. When they say he's retarded, they're joking. They're making fun of him, But so whatever that is, he all right? Whatever that is, that's got to be it. And definitely not a fucking Christian. No way, not a Christian.
No, I mean that's the irritating thing too. Is like like with what he did over to Faithful to God.
Oh God, dude.
I mean, I'm sorry, but when you're going to threaten a fellow Christian with sending Black Hebrew Israelites to his house, it's like, dude, I'm sorry, but that's you're basically threatening to kill this guy. I mean, because they would have.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to stuff like that, because again, I was a Christian. I no longer am. because I don't believe it. I don't believe in it anymore. But I was a Christian, and to see this guy claiming to be a Christian, it offends me. I mean, it offends me just like if I called him a nigger, it would offend him, right?
Mhm.
Him calling himself a Christian, preaching the word of God, it offends me because it's like I was that, and
Yeah.
you're not it. so it, I'm offended by that, and so.
Yeah, and I mean, see, even me as a fairly outspoken atheist, the issue that I have with him is he loves to try to backtrack on certain verses in the Bible. Like his new one now is the whole the Psalm 14, where the fool said in his heart there is no God.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the context of that, especially if you look at it in Hebrew, the word that they use for fool is not actually the word for fool. It's actually the word for an evil person. I mean, it's literally like a switch between an E and an A.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if you look at it in the context of that, where the whole, right afterwards, before they commit evil acts and all this other stuff, it would make more sense for, the evil person has said in his heart there is no God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's something that I was going to be arguing with G-Man about when he was supposed to have come over to my channel, but apparently he, got all butthurt with the atheists online, and needless to say, he's no longer coming over here ever again.
Yeah, and that's another thing, because like you said, like the whole translation thing.
Mm-hmm.
This guy who lives and dies by the Bible, not only lives and dies by the Bible, but then has this literal interpretation of the Bible, which in Christianity is a minority. Okay, that is a minority of Christianity that believe that. But
I believe it's 30% now.
Yeah,
something like that.
I mean, you go to any Christian on the street, they have no problem with evolution or modern, or what modern science teaches, age of the earth, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But the way he views the Bible, and what, again, as a former Christian, what makes me so angry is like, well, bro, you should be a damn right expert on the Bible. Okay, you're talking crap about these PhD theologian guys or what. Dude, you should be one of them. If you think this book is God's word,
oh yeah,
you should be an actual expert. You should be able to, the translations, like you said. Okay? He should know that stuff. He should know. Okay, well, he should be able to at least be able to read the stuff in Greek, or something. Even though that wouldn't be the original language, but
Well, and see, on top of that, I mean, G-Man sits there and thinks, if apparently if you're not his brand of Christian, then you're an atheist and you've never read the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, dude, seriously, I can literally, I've got a Bible right here. I've read it 3 times now, and I'm working on a 4th read through because I'm actually looking for specific contradictions now.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I brought it down here, but at the same time, it's like, dude, I've got a Bible within reach of me. I have read it before, but his argument against that is, oh well, what does it say in this obscure verse or chapter of of this? And it's like, okay, I've read Harry Potter much more than I've read the Bible. Could I tell you what the 3rd sentence of the second chapter is in the 4th book? No, I can't. Okay. And that's the issue, is because it's like, okay, look, you're wanting me to quote specific passages out of scripture, and this is 66 or 88 books or whatever it is, wrapped in one book. I mean, you're not going to get a lot from me if you're asking for very specific stuff.
Yeah.
But apparently, because I don't have the Bible, because I don't have that photographic memory where I can quote passage and verse of every single thing, apparently I've never read the Bible.
Yeah.
So
and then that whole, like, when he starts calling out other, like you said, if you don't believe in his type of Christianity, you're not a Christian. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, like I said, just like if you call him the N-word, oh man, that's like you crossed the line. Okay. dude,
Oh, yeah.
like you tell a Christian you're not a Christian. I mean, that's if they weren't Christians, that's something that you'll probably get punched in the face for. Just like if I said, "Hey, G-man, you're a nigger," pow,
Oh,
the
yeah.
fist is coming, right? It's the same with Christians, but because they're Christians, they won't do it, you know. But I mean, it's that offensive, you know. And he doesn't care. He's like, I don't care, you know. So.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, that's the thing too. His recent defense of Shanny and all this other stuff. I mean, I tried my damnedest to stay out of that drama, and I just got drug into it. It's like, you know, what in the hell is everyone talking about? I mean, the Shanny person. I turned around and was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to stay out of it. I don't want to hear about it. And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, hold on a second. I sat down and watched one of Drag's reviews, and it's like, okay, my morbid curiosity just went off because this woman is almost as bad as G-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started watching it, and not even watching it from Drag's side. I actually started watching some of her streams, and it's like, oh my God, this woman is even worse than G-Man.
Really? I've watched her through Drag, but I've never really been interested. I mean, so I know who she is, and you know, but
I mean, those were usually the streams where it's like, okay, yeah, I'll just let it play. I'm gonna hang out with my kids, and it's like, okay, this is just ridiculous. Good God. But then I started, it's like, okay, hold on a second, because, you know, maybe I'm not catching it out of context or something like that. But then you go to her channel, and it's like, no, this woman literally spends 15 to 16 hours a day neglecting her kids and sitting there playing video games or streaming or doing interviews. And it's like, woman, you have got to do something with your fucking life.
Yeah.
But then, of course, you've got, you know, Shanny's got her enablers, which, you know, G-Man's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
G-Man's got his enablers, which, you know, it seems like they're legion nowadays, where you've got, you know, Shanny Rev, Veckel, True Empiricism, and then the 3 or 4 people that always end up popping up in the chat. I'm actually surprised somebody's not searching G-Man's name just so they can come in here and bug me about it.
Yeah, and you know, and about those G-Man and the enablers, that was another one that I was always confused by. Like, you know, like Veckel, he seems like a cool guy. You know, he seems like a reasonable guy. True Empiricism, he seems like a wonderful guy.
Veckel's partially reasonable, or partially reasonable if you can keep him away from G-Man, the subject of G-Man entirely. Okay, I've actually had decent conversations with Veckel. I'm not going to lie about that. But because he's a Calvinist, he's got this really weird, I don't want to say contemptuous, but contradictory stance. So, like, if I tell him anything because I'm an atheist, he automatically assumes it's wrong.
Well, like, the one thing that I was always wondering about them, the Sister Cherry lady, I've seen a little bit of her. She's just out there, whatever. But as far as these other people who enable him, and again, like Drag would say, why do they keep doing it? Because I'm thinking, bro, like, these people should come to you on the side and go, G-Man, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? You know? And I couldn't figure out why. Why aren't they doing this? And Dragnut said it like not too long ago in some other thing he was doing. They're probably scared of him. Look what he did to Faithful to God.
Oh, yeah.
G-Man probably knows these people better. And they're afraid of his retard wrath, you know? and he'll start putting the info out there. He'll start, just throwing it all out there on the internet. And I'm thinking that's probably what it is. They're afraid of his freaking wrath, you know?
No, I'll agree with you on that one. I mean, hell, considering G-Man doesn't have the decency to not call Sister Cherry at 3 a.m. and throw a hissy fit.
A little asshole.
Yeah. I think that's actually one of the they ended up timing me out on that one, but I flat out told him in the chat, it's like, dude, seriously, it's like 3 a.m. your time. I don't know what time zone Sister Cherry's in, but that is just a dick move. I mean, come on, let the woman sleep. And then, of course, she went on to freaking Drag's channel for another hour and a half, and it's like, good grief.
That
I didn't get a whole lot of sleep that night. And I had G-Man stream on my phone. I had Drag on the computer, and I'm sitting there trying to keep track of everything.
But yeah, like I've noticed with G-Man now, he's going for a new tactic because with the stuff he does before isn't working. So lately he's been doing the whole dragging out, get a job or whatever, and this and that, or he's on YouTube just to make money, which that would be a job actually, but whatever. And then now he's pulling this whole like racist stuff, and and the thing I noticed, because I mean, I always saw it, but I think it's just like he's even making it more like obvious, is that he's literally doing or saying the same things that Drag says about him. How like the whole like, oh, these atheists, they don't understand anything. I know evolution better than they do, blah, blah, blah. And he's just really blatant about it. And so I don't know if it's a goof or, I don't know, like a goof or, I don't know, just like his rage getting over on him. But I know he's it's a lot more obvious to me now, where it's like, dude, you're just like doing exactly what they're doing. You're just reversing it, but he's just bad at it.
Yeah, well, I mean, not only is he bad at it, but he doesn't actually have he doesn't have their words to use against him. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when Drag turns around and says, look, this guy's saying this shit, here's the video, then we realize, yes, they're saying that shit. But then you've got G-Man and Shanny going, oh well, they're being racist, or he's sexually harassing me for Shanny.
Yeah.
And it's like, really, where? Because, Drag turns around and pops up. It's like, who's sexually harassing who when you send him a message talking about, show me that BBC. And it's like, dude, this is just ridiculous. I mean, they're both trying to use his tactics, and it's like, it doesn't work when you can't show the receipts.
And also how he's just, when he starts going, and like, he just always makes himself look worse. Like Drag said it before, don't interrupt him, let him talk, and he'll put his foot in his mouth, and he makes I mean, like, like you and me, if we're talking, we're not going to let out information that's going to embarrass us, or like make us look dumb or stupid, but
oh yeah, that's the whole give him enough rope to hang himself with.
And then God, and then he just gets so angry. It's like, God damn it, bro. Like, son of like when he talks about like everyone getting in his personal life and all that stuff, right? This is shit that he's said himself, But but like an example of him letting out embarrassing information about himself just by ranting. Okay.
Yeah.
Here is one thing that I figured out that I haven't heard anyone say yet before, but just by listening to him, okay, and the things he talks about, okay, I can tell you he doesn't have a bank account, okay. I can tell you that because he had a video where he pulled out like a wad of bills, right, and he said, "Oh, I've got like I don't know how much money I have here," and I thought, people don't usually have that money. That would usually be in the bank. Mm-hmm. Why do you have it in your drawer? And then he talked about how stuff wasn't working with PayPal or with this. So then everything had to be like a Cash App. And then there was problems with his Cash App.
Oh, yeah.
Or when he talks about how my phone's running out of minutes, right? Okay, that means you're buying prepaid cards. That means you don't have a monthly account that would be taken out of your bank, And so he's saying these, I mean, I used to do that, prepaid cards and stuff like that. It's kind of embarrassing. I don't, it's like, oh, I'm running out of minutes, because then they're like, oh, what, you got prepaid? That shit's embarrassing, okay? I'm not going to say, oh, I got to go to the liquor store to cash my check, because then they're going to say, oh, you don't have a bank account then?
Yeah.
He just,
I mean,
embarrasses
I'll admit I use a prepaid phone plan, but I buy unlimited minutes, and it's on a recurring payment. So, I mean, I did that just to stay out of the damn contract, because I go through phones like crazy.
Mm-hmm. But you know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
By it, right? Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, that's my issue on there. But yeah, you're right. He's, he's constantly having to buy minutes and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, yeah, I can easily see that I wouldn't be surprised if he had a Cash App card that he had to take to the store to pull the cash off of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, I mean, those aren't really that hard to do. I mean, you can run to Walmart, pick up a green dot card, and it's like, here's the card that I want to sync to this Cash App.
Yeah. And then like the videos he's been doing out of that little white room, with the stove, and like I saw him like
what's everyone calling it, the broom closet?
Yeah, like I saw him going like, okay, if he just sat there, fine, but then he was ranting about something, and then he went to the stove and turned on the flame, and then he compared it to something burning. I don't know what it was, but then I was like, bro, like that's the second time I've seen that stove right in front of you. Mm-hmm. Where the hell are you? And it's like, so my conclusion is, okay, he's probably living in whatever the hell that is. I don't know what it is, but there's a stove right in front of you, and it's like, son of a God, like stick to being outside or something, bro. You're making yourself look dumb.
Well, I mean, that's generally why I try and keep a fairly blank background behind me. I mean, at most you might see my second TV or the bookcase behind me. Mm-hmm. But it's like, okay, this is technically my office, my bedroom, and my hobby room. I've got a rack of tools sitting right over there next to my 3D printer too. But it's like,
yeah, same here. That's why I keep the camera right here so you don't see the rest of my 2-story house. With my marble floor, not my dirty laundry and dog.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't let my animals in here, but I've got like 14 cats and a dog.
Jesus Christ.
We couldn't get them fixed in time, and they freaking multiply like rabbits. We're still trying to get rid of them. But yeah, I mean, hell, I live on 3 acres just outside of town, so it's like I don't really care.
That's nice. Yeah, and would you say like Oklahoma or something like that?
Yeah.
Right?
Like for anyone that actually feels like doing the footwork, the town I live in is famous for having the largest grain storage in the world, in the United States, and a weird mention in Jurassic Park 3.
Hey, but you got a house. And an actual land. That's nice.
But I mean, anybody that's actually intelligent enough to extrapolate that pipe up there is actually a piece of conduit. I live in the basement of this house. I'm the one that pays the bills. Okay. The reason why I live in the basement is because this is the biggest room in the house, and it's got the most outlets. So, I mean, hell, I can be up at 3, 4 in the morning live streaming and stuff like that. I don't have to worry about being quiet because everyone else is 2 floors above me.
Yeah. Yep. That's good. And then you can go outside and start making a mess and stuff on your land.
Oh yeah, I've got a fire pit right out in my front yard.
Cool. You got a garage?
Yep, I've got a 3-car garage and a 2-car garage.
Several garages.
Yep.
That's the perfect place for a speed bag.
Oh no, my speed bag's actually on my way upstairs. Or not my heavy bag's on my way upstairs.
Oh, yeah. So, I got a heavy bag. Never use it. Waste of time.
I do. It definitely allows me to let off some frustration because I mean I've actually got it up against the wall. That way I don't have to have anybody hold it.
I'll tell you, man. The reason I don't like a heavy bag. First, it's a piece of equipment you can actually hurt yourself on. If you just lay into it, you're gonna hurt yourself. And also you kind of need gear. You should have your hands wrapped and gloved, which makes it less likely for you to use just on a whim. Yeah.
I keep my gloves here.
So like with my speed bag, I have it in my garage. There's no car in the garage. It's just like my workplace, I guess. Mm-hmm. And I have it set up in the garage. So at any given moment, I'll walk out there and just hit it. Then I walk back into my house, or I'll be outside, or I'll be in my garage messing with something, and I see it, and I'll just start messing around with it, like half-assing, and it's like a toy. I use it like a toy. Like I don't play video games, so like that's like I'll just like mess around with it, and then I go back to what I'm doing, So that's why I think it's such a great piece of equipment, and I'm gonna get you into getting one. You'll be amazing chicks in no time.
Well, I mean, hell, I just recently picked up a weight bench I mean, it's sitting right over here. I showed the mask that I was messing around with earlier sitting on it.
Yep.
But at this point in time, it's like, you know what, I can do a lot with just a weight bench and a couple of barbells or a couple of dumbbells.
Mm.
At this point in time, it's
Well, I'll tell you what's great about the speed bag too, because when you get those dumbbells, you're already thinking workout mode. Right? Time to pump some iron, right? When I'm hitting the speed bag, I'll see it and I just start fucking with it and I just start playing. So a lot of times, like I'll be hitting it like slowly and just zoning out, and like daydreaming. And I find the rhythm to be like almost like calming. And I'll be hitting it slowly, just whatever. And then like I'll kind of get into it. And then before I know it, I'm like really going at it. And then suddenly it's like, oh, I'm sweaty. Oh man, my arms are sore. And maybe I'll have one of those days where I'm on a good rhythm. I'm like, oh, let me push it now. So at no point that I go in there thinking workout time. It was just like I was just killing time, but then it turned into a workout. So
well, eventually I want to get one of those the dual stands where it's got a speed bag on one side and a heavy bag on the other.
I know what you're talking about.
Because I mean, the actual full basement is actually the entire footprint of the house, and my room takes up about a quarter of that. So I mean, I've got my transition from to go upstairs into the kitchen, and then I've got this entire other half of the house that I don't really use. Yeah. So I mean, I could easily put a lot of my weight stuff out there, provided I put a cover on it because of the cats. But yeah.
Those dual stand things, I'm not a fan of them because for a speed bag, you really want that thing to be securely mounted on something. Which is why I would think your garage would be a good spot because that thing, it will get noisy, when you start hitting it. And in your room, it would probably be too noisy. So I think like if the garage is easy, like if you could easily just walk out the door and head out to the garage, that would be the spot to do it.
Yeah, I don't really get into my garage a whole lot. I mean, that's the problem is like my original channel for YouTube was originally for my kids. It was my Nerf channel. We've literally got my collection alone, not even including my kids or my roommates. I've got 123 Nerf guns right now. Okay. Actually, 125. I've got 2 down here. But
hey, you're embarrassing yourself.
No, I'm a big kid. I love playing around with my kids. I mean, hell, let's see if I have to reach it. Let's see here.
Oh no! Please don't grab one.
I've got one sitting in my.
Please don't show me a toy. Oh, great!
And it's heavily modified too. It's got metal hammer trigger.
No, it's modified.
Oh yeah!
Wow, you souped it up. All right.
Yeah, I'm a big kid. I mean, I've got a soldering iron set over here. I put upgraded motors in the electronic ones. Most of my electronic ones run off of friggin' LiPo batteries instead of AA's.
So you did man stuff to soup up a toy?
Yes. I have one Nerf gun over here that will put a AA battery through a cinder block.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I like that. Make a bow and arrow out of PVC. That's some good stuff.
I have 3 of them.
You nerd. Freaking nerd.
Actually, I take that back. I've got 2 bows and a ballista.
Yeah.
Because the one that I made out of, I think it was like 1.5 inch PVC pipe, that is so strong that I don't know if you've ever seen the original Scorpion King with The Rock, but the guy that was trying to make fun of him, he's like, he left his bow behind and he tries to pull back on it. When I finally got that thing strung, which took me and my roommate to string it, I went to pull back on it, and it was like, going. So we ended up mounting it sidelong on a 2x4.
Hey, all right.
But I mean, shit, we got three acres out here. We've got slingshots. We've got slingshots, bows, throwing knives, throwing cards, Nerf guns, airsoft guns. Hell, we even got shotguns and revolvers. I mean, that's we've got everything now.
Yeah, let's see you play. I'd like to see you play with those.
I plink on a metal target. That's about as much as the actual firearms go.
That's cool.
Actually, no, the shotguns for coyotes.
Whoa.
Because we live right between two fields that they use for cattle.
Wow, that's cool. Fucking coyotes.
Yep.
So where were you on this G-Man stuff? Was this when he was apologizing for the calling TJ a racist or something?
No, this is so I could take advantage of Shannon and Rev again, which I would never do. I have a conscience with respect to hold on a second. Ivan Van Veen. I'm not 100% sure if that's actually Ivan, you're gonna have to to elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Too many words. I didn't get it. Yeah, we got way off topic.
Yeah. Anyway, but no, this is his show on the Drunken Peasants, where he basically just okay, another one. Peace and slowly. I don't know you either. The last day and Booten. The term anata or anatom refers to the doctrine of non-self. There is no unchanging permanent self, soul, or essence in phenomena.
I thought that said pneumonia.
Oh, phenomena?
Yeah, I was like, something about pneumonia. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, no, this is when he was on Drunken Peasants, basically turning himself into a royal jackass. I don't know if you're in the Discord or not, but
is that I always hear Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something specifically that Drag created? I just thought Discord was like a word for where people go to have conversations. I didn't know if that was just something Drag created or something.
Oh well, no. Discord is its own thing, but
okay.
Drag has a channel on Discord. I mean, actually, I've got
okay, all right.
I've got 7 channels on Discord right now.
All right.
But no, he's got he had one that he's created. It's called the Dragoon Syndicate.
Yep.
But he did that just to fuck with people, and then apparently they started. They turned around and renamed it, and now that's where we all go to talk when we're blocked in the chats.
Oh, all right. So where do you think G-Man is? I mean, like I always see him like he's getting close to just like lose it, Like I think I saw him worse when Drag first did that Summer of G-Man thing. I think that's really when I saw like G-Man like really like flipping his top, and then now he's doing it now with this whole the eviction saga thing. Like and I see him get he's obviously getting angrier and angrier about it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? You think that he'll just gonna like blow his top and then he's out, or he's just gonna just continue getting worse, or
I think he's going to continue
for a
getting
while,
worse.
come back?
No, I think he's going to continue getting worse. He's I've noticed that he's not very compliant to his own things. So the second that Drag decides that he's because he's going to be going back to school this week, so he's going to be limiting his time on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
G-Man is more than likely going to do the whole pigeon chest thing, where it's like, look, I drove him off of YouTube, and and this is only day 8 or whatever is, because apparently he planned on going in on him for 30 days, and it's like, I found it like the second or third time, and he was already quoting it was day 6, and it's like, okay, what happened to days 1 through 5? Because I didn't see those.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like day 8, 3 days in a row.
Yeah, and and that's another thing that like how I said how he's getting like more like blatant in his lying and stuff like that. Like when he started this whole thing about day 1, day 2, whatever, and so I'm listening to it, and I'm not surprised, but it's like, okay, I'm not hearing anything different here. This is just the same stuff you always do.
Yeah.
But then he's going around like, oh yeah, freaking, when you saw me in episode 5, when Dragonite got owned over what I said, and I'm thinking, but owned, like you did nothing, and it's like like.
Yeah, it's not to interrupt you, but it's actually funny. The debate that he was talking about on evolution, apparently that popped up in my recommended not too long ago. So I actually sat down and watched it. And if G-Man thinks that he won that debate, I got some really bad news because that was embarrassing.
Yeah, and that's how it is with all of them, and so like. It's got to be a combination that he actually thinks he won it, but then you think like he knows that I'm just pumping it up and I'm just lying through my teeth here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's definitely that, right? You think?
I think so. I mean, he apparently thinks that he has never lost a debate, and I mean, this is a guy that will kowtow or will curtail any disagreement conversation as a debate.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he has what was it, back last October, November, it was about the time he ended up with pink eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had to explain to him too what the most causes of pink eye are, which is fecal matter.
Oh.
I've got kids. I know what pink eye is. But he turned around. He got that big ass fucking red eye, and it's like, dude, you've got pink eye. You need to get something for that. But then I ended up having my debate with him on Modern Day Debate, and apparently because it was like within a week or two of his debate with Shannon Q, people remember that debate where he makes an ass out of himself regarding morality.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody remembers mine because it's just two guys talking about a woman's right to abortion.
Yeah, man. I don't think I remember. Like, I remember you talking to him once, like the first time I saw you, but I don't think I remember a Modern Day Debate thing. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, they still have it. If you go up, I think, like I said, it was last November was when they had it on there. But I mean, he made a flat out ass of himself, and I had already seen his discussion with Shannon Q. I was looking for some of his morality arguments, and that was actually when I first decided to talk to Drag.
Oh, okay.
Because I popped up in one of his live chats, and it's like, hey, I tagged him, and it's like, hey, I've got a debate coming up on Thursday with G-Man. I just need some advice. How the hell do you get this guy to stay on topic?
Mm-hmm.
And Drag, he turned around and singled that post out. He's like, okay, thank you for coming to me first, because apparently I'm the G-Tard whisperer. And it's like, okay, well, I mean, I wouldn't want you to go that far, but just a little bit of ideas will work. But yeah, he basically, you've basically got to kind of like distract him when he starts going off topic, and it's something that I noticed that Billy from the Geek Room, he does a lot too. He'll turn around, jingly keys, and that's basically what you have to do. And during our debate, he started doing that crap where he went from he was trying to shotgun subject on me, and he was basically just this and this and this, and then he tried to jump into like biblical rape and the punishment. And I flat out interrupted him. It was like, G-Man, are you really going to go into the rapist should marry the victim? And apparently he got offended because I interrupted him, and he's like, no, I was not going to go into there. And then what does he do? He goes right into it.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you serious? I mean, I just called you out on this. Okay. A rapist marrying the victim is not punishment for the rapist. That's punishment for the victim.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, if this is what you're wanting to do, this is not really going to be a very good conversation. And, I was arguing for relative morality. at the time because I'm still a philosophical newbie. I'm all these different terms is getting annoying, but I specifically thought that morality was relative, as in, yes, it's subjective to a point, but it's an agreed upon subjective morality, whereas, for the society.
Mm-hmm.
And G-Man immediately went, it went right through that G filter of his where, he's got to try and twist it into something he can understand. And he's like, oh, well, since it's just your opinion, then, what does it matter with me? And because, my opinion is this. And it's like, you literally didn't listen to a thing I said, did you? Because it's, socially acceptable behavior is not just, one person's opinion. This is the agreed upon behavior that's acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And, I even tried doing that again last week. And what did he do? He cut me off, booted me out. And it's like, okay, are you serious?
Yeah, man. Like it actually takes work to talk to him. That's the other frustrating, like again, like Drag said, like, for stupid as he is, he does kind of know what he's doing, and like how he'll throw all these different subjects at you,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously when it's on his channel, he can be cutting you off whenever he wants. But you've got to you can't just be like, oh, on a whim, like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna talk to G. No, you got to be like, okay, all right, and you got to have your defenses up just to block away everything, and so you've actually got to put effort into dealing with his stupidity, and it's it's one thing if it's I have to put effort to deal with someone's intellect, that's one, but to deal with his dumbness, it's like, oh God.
Yeah, I mean that's the issue too. Is you got to think about what you're going to say. It's like, okay, is he going to understand this?
Yeah.
I mean, how much can I dumb this down to where he'll finally understand it? So, I mean, you're playing both fronts on that one. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, this is my defenses. I've got my intelligent answer ready for him. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, shit, that might be too intelligent. How in the hell am I going to dumb this down?
And the thing that gets me is the only reason I even interact with him, because look, I don't got the skills of goofing on him. I wish I did. I don't got those skills of just being able to rip into him. Okay, I talk to him because I'm hoping I can get through to him. And again, his arch enemy, Dragnet, says, you're wasting your time. If you think you're going to get through to him, you're wasting your time. And that's the only reason I talk to him. And then I'm the one getting frustrated. It's like, why am I doing this? So.
No, I agree.
So, okay, make fun of him. I don't got those skills. I can't do it, so. Oh, well.
Oh, I think the one good comeback I had on my discussion with him, he tried his damnedest to insinuate that a child raised by or basically a child raised by homosexual parents was going to turn out incredibly
Weird.
Dysfunctional.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, well, you don't have any source matter for that or anything like that. So, I mean, what exactly are you talking about? Are you talking about if two gay guys raised a daughter, is she just going to suddenly grow a beard, or what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
And, it was the only thing that I could think of that might have been dumb enough for him to understand. And I finally got a laugh at him. And I'm talking about an actual genuine laugh. And that's one of the reasons why I can spot his fake laughs, is just because I actually said something that was so punny that he had to laugh.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was just one of those things, because it's a lot of the comments that I had in his live streams before he ended up banning me is like, gee, man, that fake laugh is painful. You need to stop that.
Yeah.
Because that's all he does. He thinks he's going to deliver that shot, and then he starts laughing, and it's like, ow, please stop.
Yeah, and that's another one. So okay, so you making that comment is what got you banned, right? Not making fun of him, but just kind of making that honest comment. Dude, what got me banned from him, and then now I had to figure out how to come up with another. I didn't know how to do this. It took me forever to come up with one account, and then you block that one. But the thing that ultimately got me banned was when he was talking to some what was it? He was talking to a Buddhist or something. Some Buddhist came on because he said, "Hey, if you're a Buddhist, come here and talk to me." Some guy came in, and G-Man was basically laughing at him, like he was asking me, "What do you believe?" And G-Man's laughing, and I commented, "G-Man, you asked a Buddhist to come. He's answering your questions, and you're laughing at him." And he reads it and goes, "That's it, Lubus, you're out." And I'm like, "What the fuck did I do?" Like I wasn't trashing you, like.
Oh yeah, apparently even the slightest critique is, a defamation of character for him. Yeah.
And I shouldn't care that he did that, but it bothers me. And then
it's frustrating.
It makes me mad that it bothers me.
No, I completely understand that one.
My own fault.
I mean, hell, even when I went on last week, I turned around and there was a new girl in the chat, and they had been timing me out for a couple of days, and all of a sudden I realized that I'm fucking banned from the chat. I mean, I can't say a damn thing. And there was a new girl in the chat named Lulu, not Deviant Lulu, but a new one.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting there scrolling up through her comments, and she's like, "Hey, I'm new here. I'm just looking for fellowship. I've been stuck at home since April." And
I remember her.
And it was like, okay. So when I popped on there, it was, hey, I real quick, since you guys have me banned in the chat, I wanted to talk to or tell Lulu real quick, and then of course, he immediately unbroadcast me.
Yeah.
And hell, my last video, I turned around and made a comment. It's like, Lulu, if you ever see this, get the heck away from G-Man. There are plenty of decent Christians on this thing. He's not one of them.
Mm-hmm. I remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, and then of course he immediately unbroadcast me, and it's like, okay, fine. I've got to stay to this topic, then, whatever. And then of course that's when I was trying to re-explain the whole socially acceptable behavior to him, and, that he was too busy prancing around like a damn chicken, thinking that he won against the other guy that was, supposedly no longer an atheist. And it's like, oh, good God,
Yeah. God, he's such a little asshole. God.
Yeah. I mean, that's the issue right there that I have with him too, is, he thinks that, the Bible apparently is like the oldest piece of literature that the human race has. And it's like, dude, it's not even the oldest language we know of. I mean, shit, the Code of Hammurabi is an older language. You got the Bhagavad Gita is an older religion, period. Hell, the Gobekli Tepe is 10,000 years. It's older than they think the Earth is.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, these were all religions. The Gobekli Tepe was a temple in Turkey, but I mean, it was a religious structure.
Yeah, and he knows.
He knows dick all about it. I mean,
yeah, and he should.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the issue that I have with him. It's like, dude, seriously, you are, you're this close to understanding, and then you just shove it away.
I'm wondering, like, I mean, I'm convinced he doesn't attend a church.
No, he doesn't.
That's for sure. He doesn't attend a church.
No, he thinks his YouTube channel is his ministry. He thinks he's a preacher.
He's an asshole, so who cares? But I mean, I'm wondering, like, where was he going that
taught this stuff?
The seed of not even that, because I already know the answer. It's that his head's messed up, but god damn, dude, just
well, I mean, looking back at his history, he's got the I guess he was his either his real dad or his stepdad was a Muslim. His mom was a deconverted Muslim to Christian, and then the stepdad, I guess, was a Black Hebrew Israelite or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know one of his brothers is apparently a Black Hebrew Israelite, so apparently he thinks that his brother is going to be doing is going to be the one that's chasing down his hit list. But I mean, hell, this guy's got I think he's up to like 7 or 8 different siblings.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just that I've heard about.
Yeah. Apparently,
So,
got a lot. Yeah.
I mean,
And
I'm
one
just
thing that I had heard Black Eye TV say that made sense to me because the way he is, I'm thinking this guy should have gotten his ass kicked like a long time ago just by people, and
Oh, yeah.
as men, a lot of times that could be the best medicine,
yeah.
and I'm not talking about putting you in the hospital.
Oh no, but just setting your ass straight.
That's
That's what you're talking about.
violence.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not talking about violence. I'm talking about embarrass you. I knock you on your ass. You get humiliated, maybe cry. That's some good medicine. Okay, that brothers give each other, men. Like
Oh yeah.
we don't talk it out like women. Okay, and I'm thinking, why hasn't this happened? And the what Black Eye TV was thinking, he said, you know what? Around the neighborhood, everyone already probably kind of knows, like, this is the crazy guy. So don't take what he says serious. He's probably got people who know him. Hey, don't leave him alone. It's cool. He's kind of cuckoo. So, and then I'm thinking they just kind of let it be, and then this is the result of it, because I mean,
you got the entire town going, okay, there's crazy Gary. Let's just, give him some space.
Because clearly he lives in the ghetto, and I mean, Jesus, like the fact that he hasn't gotten beat up, I'm amazed by it,
Honestly, I'm surprised that apparently it was just a few weeks ago where he started playing with those skunks.
Oh,
and
God.
I was so surprised. I was like, oh my God, he's going to get sprayed. I mean, I live in Oklahoma. We've got skunks all over the damn place. Okay. I know for a fact that when that smell hits my nose and I'm outside, it's time to put my cigarette out and go back inside.
Yeah.
Because they will spray you at the drop of a hat.
Mm-hmm.
And, and the horrible part about it is the babies smell worse than the big ones.
Oh, I would imagine. Like baby rattlesnakes, they go full out.
Oh, yeah. And they do. They'll empty their damn scent glands. And I'm just sitting there. It's like, oh, my God, he's playing with them. He picked one up, and it's like, gee, man, you are going to get sprayed like crazy. And then, you really will be homeless because they ain't going to let your ass back in the house. I can't
believe he was actually able to do it, to be honest. I was like, oh, God, dude. I'm surprised he was able to actually even pick the thing up, but hey.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess there's a difference between New York or New Jersey skunks and Oklahoma skunks because that wouldn't have happened around here. I mean, hell. Just to give you a good example, I let my dog out one night. This was last summer, and before I could get him on his leash, I hear him. He just rushes, screaming, barking, like crazy, and then all of a sudden, just like mid-bark, he just stops and starts gagging. And I was just like, God dang it. I know exactly what happened. And I mean, because it was like, and I was like, God dang it. He comes back up thinking like, all proud of himself because he scared off the skunk. And he starts drooling because it caught him full force in the mouth.
Oh, man.
And it's like, God dang it. Now I got to give him a bath and tomato sauce. And
is that really what you have to do?
Oh, yeah. We ended up dumping 2 cans of V8 on him in the bathtub.
Really? Like, so soap and water, that doesn't do it? Like,
no, that soap and water is literally you be giving a bath 5 times a day for at least a week.
Really? Wow.
So, I mean, you have to have something that's essentially willing to eat that odor out. Wow. And then, of course, for the most part, because it caught him full force in the mouth, he had skunk breath for almost a month.
And the trippy thing, G-Man will hate this, but right there, that whole evolution thing, what a trip, how that is what that skunk can do. And I bet you anything, your dog will never do that again.
No, because that was the 3rd time.
Okay, well, there are stupid dogs out there, so there.
No, unfortunately, I lost that dog about 3 months after that because he got out again and ended up getting hit by a car. But it was one of those things where it's like, yep, he's not going to learn from his mistakes.
Yeah, well, hey,
I mean, our current puppy, she found a badger one day. That was fun.
A badger.
Yeah, because apparently badgers and skunks, they have the same scent glands.
Oh, do
Yeah, they're both weasels.
Little
But badgers have a completely different odor than skunks,
Mhm.
and it's a much more potent musk. And we ended up going through the same thing with her, and it's like,
Really?
oh my god, these dogs are going to kill us.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
I mean, at least one good thing about having all the cats around the house, though, the only mice I ever see are dead.
Yeah, huh? That's cool. Yeah, man. Freaking crazy little killing machines, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, heck, we've got a couple that actually just live outside. We feed them, water them on the porch. But it's like every morning there's usually 2-3 dead mice sitting up on the porch. It's like, hey, look what I did for you.
Hey, and they serve a purpose.
Yeah.
You know.
But seeing those outside every day, I'm sitting here wondering. It's like I've probably got a pile of mouse corpses in my house somewhere that these cats are hiding from me.
Yep.
But it's anyway. G-Man's behavior.
Yeah.
Going back there. Have you seen this or?
This clip that you're showing right there. Well, I didn't know he was on the Drunken Peasants again, but well, like I said, he's been his new angles, this whole racism thing that he's been going on lately. About how you're calling Shanny a racist, but then you don't talk about these atheists and stuff. And
yeah,
I mean, for me, it seemed kind of stupid, just because when he talked about the Black Eye TV guy, and I mean, yeah, I'm coming at it from kind of a joking perspective, but I think it's still kind of true. It's like, bro, you're talking about a black dude who's calling you a monkey or a G slave or whatever. It's like, bro, he's one of you. Doesn't he get a pass at that? It would be one thing.
And the stupid thing about the stupid thing about the G slave thing, he's called himself that.
Yep.
And back when he was doing the whole Shanny thing, he was sitting there talking about how he was their slave, and and he turns around, on the next thing of coming from G slave himself, and it's like, okay,
he really said it.
This was last year. We've all seen this. I mean, those of us that have actually paid attention for a little while, we've all seen this, and apparently, people making fun of you for calling yourself a G slave are the ones that are being racist.
Yeah.
And then of course the whole gorilla comment. I was in that live chat for Black Eye TV. He didn't call him a gorilla once.
And even if they did, again, for me, it's like, bro, it's one of you. Like they get a pat. I mean, come on. I mean, even G-Man isn't this stupid. Okay, just like when you see a black guy, look at this nigga here. Is he saying, look at this nigga? No, come on, dude. I mean, that. That's how they talk, dude, I get racist with Mexicans, okay? I get racist up the ass with Mexicans because I can. I'm a Latino, we can do that, okay? A white boy starts saying that stuff.
It depends on your skin tone. That's the problem with us Puerto Ricans. It depends on your skin tone. Because I'm apparently not allowed to get racist with Mexicans because I'm pale.
Yeah,
but yet my cousin who is my cousin who is almost black is he's got the Ebonics thing going on and everything. And it's like, okay, my mom is one of 3. And yet, there's a whole different situation here when it requires it, and it's like, okay, the whole racism thing is just ridiculous. I'm technically a mutt. The largest chunk of me is Puerto Rican, but I've got some German and stuff like that in me, and which is the reason why I'm also white and hairy. But
Yeah, cleaned it up. That white.
yeah, but I mean, that's the thing is, I understand that racism is stupid, but I also understand that it still affects people. So I'm not about to turn around and start using, I mean, I've been called one of the things that one of my Mexican coworkers, when he found out that I was Puerto Rican, he turned around and called me a spick. And then called me a nig, and it's like, are you serious? I mean, just because I'm Puerto Rican? And then come to find out, it was like 2 days later, the rest of the company found out that I was Puerto Rican, and I was coming in, I was grumpy, I was trying to find my cup of coffee, and somebody turned around and was like, hey, why don't Puerto Ricans like Mexicans? The first thing that came to my mind is because they're fucking stupid. And then not 10 seconds later, the Mexican walks in, he goes, hey, why don't Mexicans like Puerto Ricans? It's because they're fucking stupid. And of course, he's headed right behind me toward the coffee, and we were both, grumpy, trying to wake up. And it's like, I looked over at him, he looked over at me, and it's like, I'm wondering if he actually heard me before he walked in or not.
Yeah.
Because it had every honky in the house, laughing their asses off. But, and of course, I've been called a honky too because I'm white. But it's like, okay, this is just ridiculous. There's a whole lot of racism, but at the same time, I'm in Oklahoma. I mean, unless I'm at home because I live, my closest neighbor is a good couple of miles away from me. Unless I'm at home, if I actually go into town, I am within at least a stone's throw of multiple racists.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I mean, hell, my old supervisor, I used to work for a construction company, and I went in probably about a month after I quit, and to find out that they had replaced me with this like 50-year-old black guy. And I didn't have an issue with it. It was whatever. I drive a CDL truck for a living. All I did was deliver stuff, get off, get onto my forklift, and then drop it off at construction sites. Well, it doesn't take a young person to do that. But I turned around and walked in, and it was like, hey, so what's going on? And I turned around and grabbed what I was going to get. I think I was grabbing spray paint at the time, and the yard foreman turns around and goes, well, I don't think the meat is going to make it. And it's like, huh? Wow. As I turned around, I was like, hold on a second, who the hell are you talking about? He was like, well, they hired this new, to replace you. And I was like, dude, seriously? I mean, we're in a business. That's not exactly appropriate talk.
Like, I mean, I'm in California, and I've never experienced racism. I mean, like for me, any racism, it's always usually kind of, well, again, it's usually with Latinos. Actually, it's usually with Mexicans. I'm not Mexican, but I grew up in California, so I grew up around Mexicans, and any racism is always in fun. To be honest, we'll make blatantly racist comments to each other, and but it's always in fun, like I've never seen where it was just flat out freaking Asians or something like that, where it's like,
oh yeah, I mean, I grew up in Southern California. I actually grew up in Covina. So I mean, when I was going to school, it was like 3/4 of the population was Mexican or Latino. And then you had, you had your 7 or 8 white kids, and then turned around and you had your couple of Asian kids. But when I was hanging around on the playground and stuff like that, I was always that token white student. Yeah. And I got used to it. It was like, okay, whatever. And, man. I mean, hell, that was up until 6th grade, something like that. And it was like, okay, whatever. It doesn't bother me. I get out here and it's like, wow, this place is whitewashed to hell because I see 1 Mexican, maybe 2 black people, and that's about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds like heaven.
It is until you realize that I'm within 3 miles of a creationist public or a creationist school.
Really?
Yeah.
You got a lake.
I do have a lake close by. Actually, I've got a creek right on the edge of my property. So
Really?
Yep.
Does a boat fit in it?
I wish. I actually have to walk about a quarter mile down the creek just to find a decent spot to swim.
Yeah. Well, fuck yeah. Yeah, that shit. That sounds good.
But it's one of those things where it's like, you know what? I love living out in the country. I do. But at the same time, it's like, there's literally nothing to do in this town.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we actually we just closed up our mall.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently, the whole virus situation, all the businesses went under.
So everything is driving distance, huh? Like no walking distance to the market or nothing like that?
No. I think Walmart is the closest store to me, and it's about 10 miles out.
Fucking shit. Damn. Hmm. How's the drug scene?
We just legalized marijuana this last year. So
No, or like I'm talking like, like, hey, some guy like wants to score cocaine or I mean, like in the city, I mean, you could find that stuff, I mean, like, is it rough? Well, I don't know. You probably wouldn't know, I guess, but I mean, but like say,
well, unfortunately, I do know a few people in that crowd. So,
what's up?
I said, unfortunately, I do know a few people in that crowd.
Yeah.
Apparently, stuff like cocaine and heroin, you're not going to find around here.
Okay.
But like because of the legalized weed and stuff like that, you've got a whole bunch of people that are potheads.
Yeah.
But then you've got the ones that were basically the hypocrites that were just doing it specifically because it was illegal. Have now jumped over to meth.
Ooh.
And apparently because you can, I guess, make meth at home or whatever. I don't know how to make the shit, so I don't bother. And on top of that, I value my teeth. I like them.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of people that are. I think we ended up. It was about 2 years ago. We ended up having a woman basically set up a meth lab inside our Walmart.
Oh.
She basically walked around, gathered all the shit that she could, walked all the way back into the store, into the automotive section, and cleared out a spot in the clearance aisle and started putting together shit. And she ended up getting arrested.
Okay, well, she had to be crazy, obviously, I guess.
Oh yeah, we've got some very stupid people around here. As a matter of fact, our city, we actually did just get a new one. We're the first city in Oklahoma that when the mask mandate came around, we're the first city in Oklahoma that voted it down flat out.
Oh, hey.
I mean, we've literally got a group of people in our town called the Freedom Fighters that think this is an infringement on our rights to be forced to wear a mask. And it's like, oh my God, you guys are freaking idiots. So
yeah, you know what? That actually makes me think of like, a lot of times you'll hear G-Man like talk about like racism, like the oppression of black people or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how we're all being oppressed or whatever, and then he'll make reference to it's the rich white people or whatever, that have power, and it's like, G-Man, have you ever seen white trash? Like real white trash? Okay, that's the equivalent of niggas, but white. Okay, I mean, so like, there's no, there ain't no privilege going on there, man. Like, they are just like you, but a different skin color. So yeah, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, I grew up lower middle class, so I mean, my parents made just enough money for us to be broke.
Yeah.
So I understand that. I mean, hell, when I turned 18, the entire concept of getting onto like government assistance or food stamps or stuff like that, that was just outside of my purview. I'd never had it before. And, you know, when I ended up getting my ex-wife pregnant and everything like that, and all of a sudden she jumped on, you know, hey, we need to get, you know, WIC and SNAP and all this other stuff. And I'm like, the hell are you talking about, woman? And, you know, unfortunately, my ex-wife, she grew up in poverty. And it's like, okay, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. You know, the concept of food stamps boggled my mind. And it's like, okay, well, you know, yeah, sure, why not? Let's just, you know, if the government's just going to give us money, then why not?
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, come to find out, it's like, okay, hold on a second. This is almost like some weird form of entrapment. It's like they're trying to pay us to be broke.
Mm.
And I had that weird thing in my mind. It was like, you know, no, I don't want to be on the government assistance.
Yeah.
So I went out.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, I went out and I ended up going to a trucking school in Utah and you know, getting my CDL and working over the road for a year. Well, apparently, because I was trying to better myself, and then, you know, I wasn't coming home, but like every 3 months. That was 10 years ago now. But that year that I was on the road, I came home 4 times the entire year.
Mm.
And it seemed like every time I came home, I had to fix my car. I had to go and pay bills that were backtracked.
Oh.
You know, I had to track down my ex-wife because, you know, she was nowhere to be found. She was always, you know, with the kids over somewhere else, or drop them off with my mom's, and you know, she was out at a party or something like that. It's like, okay, you know what? We finally ended up breaking up that year, and, you know, the way I have to, I guess, justify it to myself is the simple fact that I grew up, she didn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she much rather would go out and have a party and do all this other stuff. And, you know, that's one of the reasons why I've got my kids. You know, it's another pride thing. You know, these are my kids. I grew up not knowing my father until I was 23,
Mm-hmm.
because they ended up divorced when I was incredibly young, and I never bothered paying attention to the guy, or I never bothered trying to find it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it was a matter of pride. I was like, I'm not going to do that to my kids. I grew up not knowing my dad. I'm not gonna be not in their lives.
Yeah.
So I, you know, hired the best lawyer I could, turned around and basically just put my foot down. I was like, look, I've got the better job. I've got the better way of, you know, of keeping these kids secured, and you know, and not jumping from house to house.
Yeah.
And as you know, because Oklahoma is actually a mom first state.
Well,
You know,
I would think that's how it is everywhere, pretty much.
Pretty much. But I mean, it was one of those things where the lawyer, it cost me almost $10,000 to get my kids.
So you got off easy.
Yeah, $10,000 for my kids in the divorce. But I mean, it was just ridiculous, the amount of hoops that I had to jump through just to basically say, look, I want my kids.
Yep.
And then, of course, you know, now my kids are teenagers, and it's just ridiculous. You know, that I have to constantly correct my kids, because unfortunately, I mean, I don't generally talk trash about my ex-wife. We're still friends. We get along. It's just that we're too different. Like I said, I grew up, she didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, she still jumps from boyfriend to boyfriend every now and then, and it's like, I've intentionally been single for about 5 years, specifically because I know I can handle my life by myself.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's changed, but yeah. Anyways.
It's important to keep things amicable.
Yeah, it is.
With the ex,
and see, that's the thing.
So.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I make it a point. I never talk trash about her. I never talk trash about her if I can help it, and I never do it in front of my kids.
Yeah.
But the problem is they are now old enough to understand that some of the things that she's doing. So it's like, I'm sitting there talking to a friend that I haven't seen in a while, and my oldest one turns around and says something along the lines of, "Yeah, because my mom's a huge slut." And I'm like, I looked straight at him. It's like, what the hell are you trying to do to me, boy?
Well, that's teenagers for you.
Oh, I know. And it's
They're going through their "I'm a little asshole" phase.
Yeah. And my 13-year-old at that. And it's like, okay, first of all, I immediately jumped onto the defensive on that one too. It was like, okay, I don't talk bad about my ex-wife in front of my kids. I promise I don't. Mm-hmm. And then of course, they understood it, and they met my ex-wife and everything like that. And it was immediately, as soon as that conversation was over, I grabbed my kid and I was like, okay, first of all, you do not say crap like that in public. Seriously. Okay, because not only does that make you look bad because you're using language that's not exactly age appropriate, but at the same time, people are not going to think that that's coming out of your mouth. That's people are going to think that I'm the one that's putting that in your head. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no, she is. And I was like, I don't care if she is or not. You don't say crap like that.
They'll grow out of that. Yeah, at that. Yeah, they're a little asshole face. So.
But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, there's things that can be done, and then there's things that can't, and again, it's that socially acceptable behavior.
Yep, which G-Man doesn't have.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
That's clearly obvious. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. I don't know if you can tell, but I've got ADHD, so it's the topic jumping.
You're a tard?
Do what?
You're retarded. I didn't know.
No, I just have a constantly flickering TV with no access to the remote. I have no control over when the channel changes.
Or.
But try to remember what we were originally talking about.
Well, it was originally about G-Man.
Yeah.
And getting you to get a speed bag.
Eventually, I'm waiting for that stimulus to come in. I might be able to pull some cash out of there.
You got tools. It can be done cheap, my friend. I'm extending the olive branch. You just show me a little interest, and I'll talk you through it for $30. $30.
Yeah, eventually, I'll definitely be getting one.
I'm telling you, it's super fun. Your kids will be amazed. It's like a magic trick, And I'm telling you, man, it's a great workout. Great workout. Fun workout. Yep.
Did you actually see the last couple of minutes of this, or
this particular?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I was playing it earlier. I just didn't know if you had actually seen.
The part that you were playing, yeah.
Yeah.
Is this like when he's ranting about how people get on Shanny for being racist, but he doesn't get on other people for getting racist?
No, this is him talking about what he would do if he found out that a trans woman, or if he found out the girl he was dating was trans.
Oh, actually, this I haven't seen. No.
Okay. Let me back it up to about. There we go. Yeah, if you want to give this a listen to.
G-Man, Pimp Monk's not married.
That ain't never gonna happen.
Pimp Monk's not married. Do you think he's attractive?
Yes, he does think I'm attractive.
I like women.
Oh.
All shapes.
I'll be your woman, G.
I like women all shapes and sizes.
I shave my pubic hair and everything, G, man. It's all shade.
G-Man, do you have a woman
You're
in
not
your
a
life
woman,
right
you're
now?
a man. And I think you might be sexually confused.
G-Man, do you have a woman in your life right now?
That's a secret.
Kenny.
Okay, how about this? If we had a segment that we ran called the G Spot, and we had you come on and we had you do kind of like a dating game with some women, would you be up for that?
Sure, why not? I need a
I
good laugh.
love it. We got to.
Just real quick, okay, that right there, the are you dating anyone right now? That's a secret, and then willing to come on there. I'm sorry, that right there says he's single.
Of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
that right there is like, okay, dude, if you're this professed loving Christian, okay, this would not enter your mind unless you were single.
Yeah.
So, but then this is where it gets bad.
We got to figure that out soon. Have some
I need to
fun.
find out
Girl
who the
named
women are gonna be
Pimpisha.
first, though, because some women are not my type.
What
I
if
know a girl named Pimpisha.
What if at least one of them has a penis?
No.
do you think you'd be able to tell?
Damn, G.
And real talk.
That'd be
if
a
I
good
ever
one.
dated a woman,
3
real
women.
talk,
Hold on,
real
though.
talk. If I ever dated a woman, and that woman turned out to be a man or somebody had a sex change,
You suck that dick,
I'm
wouldn't you?
probably gonna spend about 30 years in prison.
No, G-Man, don't say that.
Wow. See,
Don't
that's
say
just
you-
proof you're a
30
piece
years
of
in
Don't
prison.
shit.
say-
I try to kill that person.
G-Man,
So,
don't
wow,
say. Don't.
Wow.
That's you know that's you know
That
that's
is like
transphobic
beyond
murder,
the
right?
pale. You are beyond the
just keeping
pale.
it real.
Like I said, he has been defending himself all day about about this, because like I said, this went on last night.
Yeah, first off, he wouldn't do that, but the fact that he even said that,
Mhm.
again, that's not Christian. You know,
No,
even though
and that's
he wouldn't do it, but that's what he said though, and that's not what a Christian would say.
the thing is though is I don't know if you caught that last part of it right there. Is he's been defending himself all day, saying that it was an act, or I was joking, or it was a metaphor, or stuff like that. He literally just said that he would try to kill that person.
Yeah, I don't think he'd actually do that.
I don't think he would either, but at the same time,
But the fact that he's saying that that's what he would do is that's not Christian, you know. But he doesn't have it in him, like he's, you know.
no, and that was the funny thing, because somebody turned around.
Either way, what he said, that's not good, you know.
But like I said, I think it's kind of funny though, because he was supposed to be in Times Square today or yesterday. He was apparently supposed to be there for like 4 or 5 hours to call out some other YouTubers, because I guess he thinks Billy from the Geek Room is supposed to be there when he's not supposed to be there until like October. But I guess him going to Times Square and challenging people, and I could just see somebody happen to find like a transgendered MMA fighter and just happen to show them this clip and say, "Oh, by the way, he's going to be in Times Square tomorrow."
Yeah.
I mean, I could easily see that right there happening. Just watch. I mean, I would pay to see something like that.
And let's be honest, like if this chick looks fine, like if this chick is super, super fine, and she ends up having a dick. I mean, if she is super fine, like let's see what happens, right? You with me, bro?
Oh yeah,
you with me, bro? Right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
No, I was going to show you one. Apparently, there's one that's fairly attractive, and I honestly would not have even considered her to be a woman or a man. I don't know if you know who Mia Ryan is.
No.
Okay.
I have no idea who that is. Is this a pornographic actress?
No, she was actually on. She had her own show on the Oprah channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but this is a trans woman. I'd have fallen for that.
Yeah.
I mean that's the thing, and the only reason why I even know that is because Drag mentioned her earlier. But I actually had to look her up too. I was like, "Are you serious?" But no, apparently that that's a trans woman, and it's like, dude, you know, I'm sorry, but I could easily see G-Man falling for that so easily, and then just turn around and watch her whip out a donkey dick. I mean, just.
But then when you're that fine, it's going to be like, well, how bad could it be? I don't know. Let's see. Like you know the comedian Jim Norton?
I think I've heard of him. I'm not
okay,
sure if
well,
I've actually seen it.
He had this funny funny thing because like he has a radio show, and
Okay.
you know, he has a history of like being into hookers and stuff, and being like all like into like sexual, because all like crazy sexual stuff or whatever, and he always goofs on himself, you know, so it's really funny. And
Okay.
he was talking about one time how I don't know, like he was trying to pick up some hooker or whatever, or some call girl, and she said like, well, she was like, hey, so how much, you know? And then I think she said like $1,000 or something, and then he's telling the story on the radio, right? And then he's all like, $1,000, man, what do you think? You got a dick under that skirt or something? $1,000, son of a bitch. You know, so I thought that was funny. So for $1,000, you better have a dick under there. You know, this fucking ass. That was a funny ass story.
I don't know. So unfortunately, I grew up with a stepdad that is incredibly homophobic,
Mhm.
and the thing that actually caused him to finally snap out of it was my mom took him to a drag show,
Oh.
and it was funnier than hell because apparently they had all kinds of drag queens, but then they had like 2 or 3 drag queens.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically this, very petite, slender but very good-looking woman dressed up in a suit and sitting there playing around, stuff like that. Well, as they go to start stripping, apparently one of them got a little too close to my stepdad, and he started getting worked up. Well, all of a sudden, she just unzips and drops this fucking 9-inch purple dildo out of her zipper, just right onto his table. Apparently, it took him by surprise so much that he jumped back out of his chair, fell over the top of it, and slammed his head on the table behind him. And my mom loves telling that story too. But it's like, okay, he finally had to realize that, okay, sometimes it's just for fun. But then, you know, they got into this weird these weird relationships with some of the friends that we have, and my family's weird in the fact that if they get good enough friends with my parents, they become aunts and uncles. So I end up with, I've got a couple of aunts that are lesbians. I've got an uncle who's gay, and these were all just kind of like picked up around the same time.
Yeah.
And I mean, it didn't bother me one bit because, like I said, at that point in time, I was 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, it doesn't bother me. This guy likes guys. These two are in a relationship with each other. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to hell, but they're still nice people, you know?
Well, by that time, I was already questioning my faith anyways. And then, of course, the gay guy, he was actually Wiccan. So I started getting into, I started getting the, what am I trying to say? I started getting the experience of having other religions. It's like, I've always been curious. So it's basically, it's like, hey, what are you doing? And, he turns around and he's got this, sage stick that he's smoking around the house. And he's like, oh, I'm smudging the house. I'm getting rid of evil spirits. And it was like, okay. So then, of course, it's like, go do the research. And it's like, what the hell is smudging? And, all this other stuff. And apparently he was into acupuncture and all kinds of, and I was like, okay, well, I started doing the research and it's like, okay, well, apparently that's his religion. He thinks that there's spirits and gods and all this other stuff. And I try to hand at it and, That lasted about
And he
2 or
likes
3
to-
years. Yeah, and I mean that's the issue is when you're being this bigoted towards people, you're judging them by their sexuality, which means that you're reducing them to their sexuality.
Mm.
Okay, I mean it's literally the same thing as racism, where you're judging them by their skin color, which means you're reducing them down to nothing but their skin color. And I mean,
yeah.
and that's the issue is I'm fairly certain G-Man doesn't think about stuff like that either.
No, in
But-
fact, that good argument to say that he's racist over that, or
No, that-
prejudiced at least. You
No,
know?
that's why I said he's bigoted.
Yeah.
But I mean, and that's the issue, is he doesn't understand that as much as he has issues with racism, racism is a subcategory of bigotry,
Mm-hmm.
and so is being homophobic. So is being I mean, hell, at this point in time, so is being a Karen. There is a form of bigotry associated with that. They think that they have the right to not do what they're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean, at this point in time, that's what it is. It's just blatant bigotry, and like what he's talking about here with I mean, he was flat out lying pretty much all day today, saying that it was a metaphor and all this other stuff. I mean, just the first section there, he literally just said that he was going to kill them.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, if I see,
I mean, there are people who would do that. Like,
I know, and that's the thing that irritates the hell out of me.
If I was, I mean, because if I was going out with this chick and she ended up being a dude, that means I'm gay, and I'm not gay, so I'm gonna kill you. I mean, there are people who like it's that deep for them,
Mm.
But yeah, but G-Man, he's not. First of all, that shit would just never happen because he ain't gonna get a girl to begin with. Okay, so who am I kidding? Okay, that situation would never even happen.
Well, I mean, that's actually what makes it worse, though, if you think about it. Because I mean, instead of just saying, "Well, because like I said, I'm a straight guy right here. If this situation happened to me, yeah, the relationship would be over because I was lied to.
Mm-hmm.
I have issues with being lied to.
Yeah,
okay? I'm not going to get violent about it.
No, of course not.
Okay, and I mean, any rational person would not get violent about it. Even people that are irrational. I mean, there are forms of irrationality that might apply to, but even the standard emotional, rational, irrational person is going to get pissed off. They're going to probably start yelling and screaming about it, and it's going to be because they were lied to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then, of course, you've got some of those irrational people that are not bigots, and it may turn around into, well, we've been together for so many months, and I love you and all this other stuff. Sure, why not? Maybe dick tastes good. I don't know. So I mean,
or like, well, is it bigger than mine? That's gonna come in. That's gonna be what decides this or not.
and see,
Are you
that's the thing.
circumcised? Because if you're not, I'm out. I'm out.
See, I mean, that's the thing too. Because I grew up with sexuality constantly being in question. Stuff like that doesn't bother me one bit. I mean, I'm straight. I have no issues with that. But I am also comfortable enough in my sexuality that I have no issues fucking around with, flirting with guys.
Yeah. Hey, I'm with you. Hey, I'm as straight as hell. But hey, if my dick touches another dick by accident, hey, we're guys here.
Yeah.
Right? Right? You're with me?
It doesn't bother me. I mean,
all right.
hell,
All right, good.
I have screwed around specifically with homophobic friends, where they turn around and they make that comment, and I'll like lean towards them and turn around and just like grab them by the thigh right there, start squeezing a little bit, and it's like, oh, don't worry about it, honey. It's not a problem, and just fuck with them, and I will do that. And I mean, I find it hilarious as hell because half the time they'll jump about 3 feet in the air, turn around. What the fuck are you trying to do?
Yeah.
And it's like, what? Does that bother you? And I mean, that's something that I'm pretty sure that right there would. I'm pretty sure that right there would cause him to just have that panic attack.
Yeah.
I mean, just with the reactions that I've seen on the videos between him and Drag in New York with all the other people there, he does. He actually, he was sitting there feeling up on Drag. He's, he was wanting Drag to put him in that chokehold and and pick him up and stuff like that. And it's like, dude, you're like serious. I mean, you're either so deep in the closet that you're finding somebody else's Christmas gifts, or you got a seriously weird fetish going on.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they're just, and then of course the whole pray the gay thoughts away thing.
Oh,
I'm sorry, but that right there.
One. And I tried helping him on that one. Like
I know.
Another hangout, I tried helping him, going like, bro, I know what you meant by it. You just said it wrong. And no, I didn't say it wrong. No,
Yeah,
and I'm like, Jesus, bro, I'm trying to give you an out here, bro. And that David Anthony guy was in there too with him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, no, he was, no, I didn't say it wrong. I'm like, ooh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. He thinks that everyone thinks like him, so he's he thinks that he's justified in saying it that way. And it's like, dude, no, we're trying to help you out, okay? Yes, you've had those thoughts, as in, those are thoughts, but they never go any further than that, okay? The problem is in order to be tempted by anything like a thought, you have to at least subconsciously want it.
Yeah.
And,
or not be repulsed by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean,
so what if you felt a boner touch you in the butt during your rave phase back in 2010? Who cares? If you've felt boners hit you in the butt when you're raving on ecstasy and you kind of like it, who fucking cares, right?
That's getting oddly specific.
Yeah, I mean, who cares? Like, if you touched it with your hand and you didn't mind, who the fuck cares? Right? During your rave phase in 2005. Yeah. Driving around in your brand new convertible Mustang with your best friend Lurch. Hypothetical.
Hypothetical. But yeah, I'm probably just gonna play another like 5-10 minutes of this because
No, G-Man, don't say that.
Wow. See,
Don't
that's
say
just
you-
proof you're a piece of
Don't
shit.
say-
Try to kill that person.
G-Man,
So,
don't
Wow.
say don't.
Wow.
That's that's
That
that's
is like
transphobic
beyond
murder,
the
right?
pale. You are beyond the
keeping it
pale.
real.
But
I'm just keeping it
here's
real.
what's real. Here's what's real.
I'm just keeping it real.
Don't you think if a woman could fool you long enough to have their penis become a part of your life, that you owe it to them to suck it at that point? If they could get that far?
No, Billy and Fridge, you're supposed to be ghetto. What would you do?
What would I
You're
do?
supposed to be ghetto, Billy.
there's-
You're supposed to be ghetto.
You're
What
ghetto,
would you do?
Billy.
There's so many trans prostitutes in the hood. You know that.
No. I watched a video with Billy the Fridge and Paul's ego got into it, and I know that was acting. Billy the Fridge, you're supposed to be ghetto. What happens if you
Name
meet a
drop.
girl and she tells you that she's a girl and she actually turns out to be somebody who has a sex change?
Okay, here's the
How
thing,
do you
G-Man. Here's the
respond,
thing.
Billy?
I'm a fucking honest man. And if I see a woman and if my proclivity was to not have a woman with a penis, and a woman with a penis made her way into my life, into my heart, I'd feel obligated that she was able to convince me so well. I'd feel obligated to at least give her a hand job.
It's like a big clit.
That's the
G-Man.
hood. That's the hood in
Like
me,
I
man.
said, I'll be going to jail for the next 30 years.
Yeah, see, look at G-Man. G-Man says starving children don't exist. He says that he's gonna murder transgender people. It's crazy.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
He just did. Yeah.
Was it
I said
attempted?
I'll be going to jail for probably 30 years. If I murder somebody, I'm going to go to jail for the rest of my
So
life.
what? You're gonna beat the shit out
A
of him?
life
is what you're
sentence.
saying?
A life
Like that.
sentence. A life sentence. Maybe a hate crime life sentence would be more than 30 years, but a life sentence is about 25, 30 years.
25 years is a life sentence.
Yeah. So when you say 30 years, the idea behind it is that you were going to commit a heinous crime up to including murder.
Up to it and including,
You know,
yes.
what I'll probably do is get a baseball bat and swing it. That's probably
Okay,
Why?
what I'll
wait.
do.
Oh, and you could kill someone with a baseball bat, by the way.
No, I can hit him in the back. I can hit him in the
Oh my
knee,
God,
I can hit
you
him in
are
the leg.
psycho.
G-Man.
Well,
G-Man,
I hate
I
crime.
can do a
What-
lot of
Why
things.
would you do that? You're a
He just
Christian
keeps
man,
doubling
right?
down.
Because why
'Cause
would
he's a
person
jerk.
lie to me
Put his
and tell
foot
me
in his
that they're
mouth.
a woman and they had a sex change?
But why would you not blame yourself if you got
I
that
bet you some
far?
of your fans agree with me.
Why
I
would
might
you
go
not?
Mick Foley on there behind
G-Man.
me, get some barbed wire around my
G-Man.
back before I.
Did you say
G-Man.
you think some of our fans agree with you?
Atheist community.
I
G-Man,
know some of them agree with me.
why would you
No.
not?
They want
Shit,
it,
then.
but I know some of them agree with me.
Why would you not blame yourself if you got that far into a relationship with a woman and it turned out she had a penis?
Well,
Why
I
would that
blame
be on
myself.
her and not
That would
on
be
you?
One of the reasons why we get a bat with some barbed wire tied around it and swing it as hard as I
Because
can.
of your own failure and aggression?
No, this
You mean, I
person
think you like
deceived me.
penis.
I allowed myself to be deceived, and that person is going to the
So
hospital.
shouldn't
now.
you take the baseball bat on yourself for allowing yourself to be deceived?
No,
So-
I'm going to.
What part of the
physically
Bible allows you to beat the shit out of somebody because they lied to you?
And they will learn a valuable lesson not to lie to nobody like that.
It's
again.
not. Is it lying though?
So it's
I'm not into that gender confusion stuff.
so
If
you
you're a
literally
dude,
think you're
stupid.
justified in assaulting someone just for being dishonest to you?
Like I said, try it. That's
Well,
all
Aren't
I
you
got.
confident?
They're
Aren't
not
you
confused about their
Ask
gender.
Right.
G-Man if he's seen the Shanny
That'd be the
porn and
quickest
if
way
it's
to get me off
Christian
YouTube.
to make it.
And I'll get off YouTube with a smile on my face.
Go.
G-Man, you want us to play the Shanny porn for you? The Shanny and Rev porn?
I'm
Have
sorry,
you
say that
seen?
again?
Have you seen Shanny and Rev's porno yet?
No, and I never will.
Why
I'll
not?
play it for you right now if you want to see it.
No, thank you.
No?
You
I
mean
haven't. seen
You
that,
wouldn't have
and,
sex with Blair White? Are you honestly saying that, Jimmy? I don't believe you.
Who?
Oh, you're
Blair
talking about
White.
the
She's
Shanny
a
porn?
famous-
Blair White,
Yeah.
you know who she
Yeah, I
is.
haven't
She's a
seen it
famous
No, I don't.
trans
Who's that?
commentary YouTuber.
No, I enjoy my
She's
erections.
she's got a healthy
It never
hog.
happened.
She's got a
I'll
healthy, but
appreciate
she's
it.
I watch a
also
lot
yeah.
better stuff.
G-Man won't do it because she's also in a committed relationship.
Is there a part of
I
the
would
gospel
preach
that
the
says you have to
gospel
beat the
to
shit out of
him.
people who lie to
I
you?
will not refer to her as a her. I will refer to her as a him.
If you
Why-
saw
why do
her,
you-
you would
not
think
a
it would.
him.
Why do you do that though,
I don't
G-Man?
care what
Is it
society
just be-
says. I'll go out there and I will keep it 100%. Billy,
what
I'm
does it say
disappointed.
you can't
dude.
be
I'm
trans?
fucking
why,
ghetto.
in the
why should
Bible?
why
What
should
does
I
it
have
say
to
there?
keep it 100%? I think the most gangster thing you could do is live your life the way you want to, not be pressured by other people to live your life in a certain way. If I want to respect somebody who
So that's
thinks
that fake
that
laugh.
they're a woman,
Yeah.
even though they were born a man, I'm not gonna.
So
I'm not gonna disrespect.
how about we
Like
do
I
it?
said-
How about we do a dating
Like
show?
I said, let them try that with me.
Let's
And believe me, I'm nice compared to some of the other people out there.
G-Man, I want to
You
run
guys
this
got
by you. I
cancer.
want to run this by you. So we're gonna do a dating show. There's gonna be 3 women that you choose from. One of them has a penis, and if you end
Yes.
up choosing the one that has a penis, you still got to go on a date with them. How about that?
And you can't beat it with a baseball bat either.
Like I said, if I find out they got a penis, I'm gonna get a bat, some barbed wire, and I'm gonna go Mick Foley on there behind.
Oh my gosh, this is
Yeah.
not cool.
I'm just letting
G-Man.
him see. He just exposes himself enough. Like we
That's-
don't even
that's
have to defeat
Wait a
him.
minute.
He
You
shows
know
everyone
what?
else what a
Horrible
piece of
thing
shit he
to
can
So,
be.
G-Man, do you think that's?
understand what Christians believe?
Uh,
Like, do you even know?
I've known
anything
plenty
about
of
my faith?
Christians that aren't interested in beating the shit out of people.
Yeah, wouldn't you want to
That's
turn
like-
the
I
other
will
cheek?
Get a baseball bat, get some barbed wire.
Okay,
You are
And
a
I will-
horrible
I
human
think
being,
that
Jimmy.
is fucked up
Don't even get
and
me
not
started.
something that most Christians would do.
You're a horrible
Oh,
fucking human being.
you don't know us very well. We don't like
Dude,
being tricked
most
like
of the
that.
people,
This ain't the crying.
most
my
of the
friend.
people in
This ain't the
America
crying
are
game.
Christians. I know all kinds of Christians. I live
You
in the
do?
United
Then
States.
why aren't you
I live in the
yourself?
United States. How the fuck can I not know Christians?
Then why are you not one yourself?
Because I don't believe in it. What a dumb question. That has nothing to do with what we're fucking talking
Not
about.
a dumb
You just
question.
deflect and deflect and
You don't even know
deflect.
what the heck Christianity is.
G-Man,
Because if you did, I tell you what, go spend some time.
He's not even trying to bash Christianity. He's just bashing you because you're an asshole.
G-Man.
I'm saying you're
Go spend time in Galatians and go look at
this
the fruits
isn't
of the
even
flesh and
about
the
how
fruits of the
Christian you
Spirit.
are. You're just a
I can
jerk.
get my flesh just like anybody else. Somebody come to me claiming they're a woman and it turns out that they're a dude. They won't do that to nobody else. I promise you that.
Why? Why is it not their right?
Why
is the responsibility? Why is the responsibility not on you?
Wow, man.
Why is the responsibility not on you just to not have sex with somebody that you don't know well enough to know if they had a penis?
All that time. After I vomit on them and throw up on them and stop getting sick, I'm gonna get my baseball bat, my Louisville aluminum slugger.
So gross.
And then I'm gonna go get some barbed wire. I'm gonna wrap it around that thing. I'm gonna put some lube on it. I'm gonna put a bottle on it.
Don't you dare say.
Trash, dude.
Do they actually make
you
aluminum
did not
Louisville
just say you were going to put lube on it.
They don't.
You did not just say you were going to put lube on it and
I
sexually
will
assault them.
personally lead a mob of people to end you if that happens.
Well, you can lead a mob of people to end me. Don't
If you
sing
do
it,
that-
bring it.
Okay.
Don't.
It won't be
bring
easy. It won't be hard to recruit if you beat the shit out of someone with a barbed wire
Sure
bat.
it will, because people know better. This is the internet. Real life is real life.
So in real life,
okay,
people,
so you won't do that in real life?
In real life, I put it to you like this, Ben. Okay, Scotty, Ben. I put it to you like this. You remember how Billy was acting towards Paul's ego? You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that?
What are you talking about? You've only mentioned it like 20 fucking times.
That is me when I'm super angry. You understand? Just imagine a
So you're
black person
acting,
acting
basically,
like
is what you're saying? Because
You understand
he
what
was
I'm saying?
acting.
So you can get your army. I don't care. Get your army. Get your army of 5-year-olds. I think I can handle
I need an
myself.
army of me to whoop your ass. You ain't a fucking thing, G.
G-Man.
What happened?
Gary, you're a bitch.
Oh, whatever you say, pimp.
G-Man, you realize how many, like you say that it's the real life out there, it's the real world out there. Do you realize how many trans people get murdered like for this? Like it's their real life too, right? Like a lot of times they weren't lying to anybody.
So they shouldn't lie to me then.
But
they should not lie to people about their sexuality.
Shouldn't you do more investigation before you catch the vapors for somebody?
Well, first of all, I don't believe in sex before marriage. So if I'm going to know one way or the other. I'll tell them in the beginning. You know what I mean? If they lie to me, they already know what the consequences are going to be.
Well, you're going to tell them that off the bat? Every woman you're ever with, you're like, hey, by the way.
I do that with anybody.
If you have a dick,
I let them know what
I'm going to probably murder you.
Yeah, if you have a dick, I'm going to bludgeon you mercilessly.
That's so messed up.
You're not a woman. Tell me now.
Why don't you stone him to death? Why not go classic with it?
You know, G-Man, as transphobic as you are, I really...
You talk a certain way. Their strength is a certain way.
Bit of respect
I can for myself.
As transphobic as you are, G-Man, I really do hope every time you date a woman, every time you date,
I didn't know you were bisexual, dude.
You're trans. I'll suck a dick just to prove you wrong. I don't give a fuck. I have.
That's a real G right there. That's a real G right there.
I have sex. I have sex at least once a year with a woman. Okay, don't rub it in, man. I do this. Okay. No.
Is that
I say transphobic.
Yeah, the one talking right now.
To me that you can actually
why would he want to?
G-Man, I'm honestly.
Hey, you wanna do a rap battle with a transgender murderer, Billy? That might be really good for your image.
I'm really,
man. Real men suck dick.
I really am saddened by the way you say that.
Well,
I feel
you're not a real man, Monk, if you believe that.
I feel like
believe that.
I feel like you're putting your own insecurities and weaknesses violently onto somebody else.
And weaknesses?
Yes.
Egghead wasn't cut a promo.
You guys are funny.
These are
hilarious.
These are your insecurities and weaknesses, and now you're violently putting them onto other people.
When did you become a therapist?
Honestly,
you don't need a therapist to know you're crazy. I don't need a PhD to know you're crazy.
Oh, I agree with Ben there.
You are fucking crazy.
You don't want to know.
Hey, you know what? You know what?
You're a hateful man.
You show a lot of people a lot of. You know what? I've always been respectful to you, man. It's
Well, I understand that.
and that's
but you
weird that
invited me
you're
on here once
well,
again
it's
to laugh at
it's
me.
weird
You
that
invited me on here once
dude,
again.
people laugh at you because you're you. They don't need me to
No,
do it. Oh, dude,
you
come on.
invited me on here to laugh at me.
No,
because
I
you
didn't. No, I
misunderstood
brought
the
you
video.
on here because you were talking shit, even though I was always cool with you and treated you with respect. That's why I brought you
You
on
treated me
here.
with respect, really.
But the shit
I'll
you
be
said-
using
You just
that
agreed
clip
that I
later.
did. You literally just fucking agreed.
You treated me with respect when what's that guy named Melvin, Marvin, whatever the heck his name was
Who?
on the channel, or Jalen or Olin, whatever that guy name
I
was.
don't
You
know
treated me
any
with
of these
respect when
people.
Dusty Smith was on here.
I don't
Give
know
me a
any of these
break. Come on, man.
people.
Who
Stop it.
cares?
I don't know any of these people. I'm talking about me, what
You don't
I
know
do.
Dusty Smith?
Who?
You don't know Galen?
I know who he is, but I don't know him.
Yeah.
I know
Do
him.
you know who Dusty Smith is?
I
Yeah.
know who he is, but I don't know him.
We've had
Not
him
like
on the
personally.
show. We've had him on the show,
Go.
and he hasn't been on for a
You
very
better hope
long
I don't
time.
decide to respond to this, man, because this is getting bad right now.
Do you want to do it? Do you want to respond? Because this is what you need to respond to, G-Man. You said some things tonight that are really kind of
Bad.
disgusting.
No, I said some
All
things
right.
that I would get a baseball bat and I would put some barbed wire
Egghead,
around it.
Egghead. I'm gonna
And I
I'm gonna
would
bring
go tell
Egghead in through
fuck on these
Skype.
people.
All
If a
right.
woman, if a it, I'm gonna call it an it.
Oh,
Don't
you can't do that. You
Yes,
can't do
don't-
that.
don't
It
do
claims
that.
that it's a woman,
Why?
and it isn't.
Why is your insecurity and weakness coming out and hurting other people?
I don't have an insecurity. I'm
You do.
Oh my
thoroughly
God.
against
You
that.
do.
We got
Pure
Why are you
denial.
not
these people
confident
out there.
enough in yourself that you
got a
wouldn't
guy
ever have to
out
worry
there.
about having
Got a
sex
guy
with
going
somebody
out
that you
there that
fundamentally didn't want to have
just so
sex
he-
with?
just because he wants to get laid or whatever, please.
I wish I was an arm's length of this motherfucker. I'd beat him down. I swear.
Okay, pimp. Okay, pimp monk. I'll be in Manhattan tomorrow.
I tell you what. I can't make it to
Why would he
Manhattan, but I
travel
know
to-
somebody who can. His name is Tommy from the Bronx.
Oh my God.
He'll be there.
You talking about the guy in the RV? Cool. Tell him I'll be in Times Square tomorrow. From let's say about 3. I'm actually looking forward to meeting
Oh
him.
my God.
So-
Nice
so-
knowing you,
from about 3 to
G-Man.
7, I'll be doing
Can I
speak over there, and he can actually meet me over there. I would love to talk to him.
Can I speak?
Hey, Egghead.
Hey, how's it going?
How you
From
doing?
the Bronx, the guy who ran from a rap battle.
So,
Are you
I just wanna
serious?
say- can I- G-Man, can I speak? G-Man,
G-Man, can you hear
I'm from
Egghead?
Hudson, dude. I'm
G-Man.
G-Man from Jersey. Get that through your thick head.
G-Man,
Yeah,
G-Man, can I speak?
I wish I was there. Yeah, go ahead and speak.
I bet you do, Pimp
How's it
Monk.
going, Pip?
All you would be doing is
Oh yeah,
yes,
nobody
sir.
here. That's
Yes,
that's
sir.
actually why I'm playing
Yes,
it
sir.
in context
Yes,
because
sir.
it doesn't make
You
it look
are a
good.
It's a
sack
joke.
of fucking shit.
I-
Egghead, you got to
entertain
speak
you,
up a
son.
little bit,
That's
okay?
what you would do. You
You're-
would get
you're kinda
embarrassed.
quiet.
I can
Notice I
promise you
haven't
that.
said a single word yet, and yet he's been talking over this entire time.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Egg. I'm sorry if I did. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not talking about you, Pip. I'm talking about G-Man. Fuck him.
Egghead.
Here's the G-Man. You, oh my God! I just like just the fact that you said you threatened to literally kill someone with a baseball bat with barbed wire just because they said if they
Talking.
don't tell you that they have a dick.
This
when they
is
have sex
Egghead.
with you.
That sounds like Brenda.
This is Egghead. Brenda.
Brenda.
This is Brenda.
Is that Brenda?
I gotta tell you. I gotta tell you.
Brenda?
I gotta tell you right now, G-Man. If this sounds like Brenda, you're gonna want to walk away from Brenda.
Now Brenda, I think, is
No,
Sinister
I mean,
Purpose.
I mean, let this person or
She's
whatever
a
this person
trans
is
woman.
say what they got to say.
Oh,
So
yeah, like G-Man always like really mean to her.
oh yeah,
Whenever,
You
like
threatened
right off the bat, he's
kill
really
someone
mean to her. I've heard
literally
her
with a
before.
barbed
She
wire
seems
Yeah.
like a nice
baseball
person.
bat, and you don't think that's
An
funny
aluminum
at all?
barbed wire baseball bat. Get it right. An aluminum barbed wire
It's
baseball
not
bat.
it's
yeah.
not-
Remember an aluminum Louisville
Oh,
Slugger.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't
It's
exist.
still a baseball bat. You're threatening to beat him up with violence. What the fuck is
Oh, actually, you should have heard what I said 3 years ago. I probably would have threw some gasoline on them and set them on fire.
Stop.
Yeah,
How are you a
because that's
Christian?
better.
Yeah, like
I'm pretty mean.
How
I can
are
be
you a
really mean
Christian?
person when I
Is
wanna
this
be.
not the Christian part of you? What part of you is this?
the funny
No,
thing
this is
is,
the Christian part of me. You're
You-
not going to enter my life and lie to my face and tell me that you're a woman and you're really a man. And I introduce you to my
Literally-
family and everything, and you try to embarrass me? Oh no,
You
no,
do
no, no,
realize-
no, no! You won't do that to
G-Man.
nobody else again. No, 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 no.
Are you
no,
really
no.
going to introduce
G-Man.
somebody to your family who has a penis
First of
and
all,
you're
I'm
not
never
into
going to
that?
get involved with transgender. I'm too smart
G-Man.
for that. That's
Egghead,
number
we can
one.
hardly hear you.
I'm way too smart for
G-Man?
that.
G-Man, you do know that
Yeah.
thou shalt not kill is a commandment, right? You do.
Yeah, I
realize
never said nothing
this.
about killing them.
What if they happen to
Yes,
be
I'm
not?
sure he
Dumbass,
did.
you threatened to set them on fire. You dumbass, you fucking dumbass. You threatened to set them on fire. You literally
This
just
is
said this.
hilarious.
You
And I
fucking
picked Terry
dumbass.
Funk and Mick Foley on purpose.
You
Just to
fucking
mess with you.
dumbass. You literally
So you
just
do me a
fucking
favor and
said
tell me who Mick
this.
Foley is? Terry
Yes, I
Funk?
know who Mick Foley is. But this is not fucking WWE wrestling. This is real life, you fucking moron.
Think about
This,
it.
oh my god, you are a
They're not even
fucking
using real
dumbass
barbed
moron.
I feel like I'm talking to adolescents.
What?
I'm 26 years
Hold on.
old, you
Okay,
fucking
stop,
retard.
Egghead. Stop, Egghead. What do you mean? So are you joking with us? Are you just trying to like kayfabe us or what?
What I'm saying is this: I will do damage to an individual who lies to me about being a female when they're really a male.
You're not
That's
a
all
Christian.
you need to know.
You're not a Christian then.
And I will be justified, and I
No, you
probably
won't.
get off a
Not-
temporary
Not
insanity
justified.
because I lose it.
Hopefully,
You might get insanity, that's for sure.
Hopefully you
Not
You're not a-
temporary,
You're not
though.
a Christian.
Hopefully
I'm from the
you
hood.
spend
Try
the
to
rest of
remember
your
that,
life
okay?
in
I
jail.
ain't from the hood.
Hood.
I ain't no fake hood rat. I'm a real one, dude.
Motherfucker, I'm from the hood. You ain't never
No,
seen
you're
a
not,
goddamn
Pimp.
hood.
No, Pimp.
Yeah, what hood are you fucking
From the hood.
from, dumb fuck?
Because if you was in the hood, you wouldn't be saying that stupid mess on that channel right now.
Yeah, and yet you're just threatening to
Kill
fucking
myself
murder
real,
people
man.
by setting them on
Yeah, okay,
fire
come
and
to my
beating them up
neighborhood
with a
and say
fucking
something like that.
baseball bat.
We'll just check in, but they don't check out.
Anti-Christian.
All right, Egghead. It was nice having you on. We're gonna cut you loose
All
here.
right,
Thanks for being on, Egghead. All right.
G-Man, I'm pretty disgusted by what you said tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, you are, Billy?
Yeah, that's.
I'm pretty disgusted about what you said about my God in your previous rap, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what. You're God. You're God.
You cannot be real.
G-Man.
You're so
G-Man. You're
I'm
God.
pretty disgusted
You're God.
by what you said about my God.
G-Man.
Oh my
Horrible
God.
G-Man. G-Man.
Scared to go one-on-one with G-Man.
G-Man. Can I tell you something?
Hey, G-Man, do you remember when Billy and
Go
Paul
ahead.
fought on
I'm
that
sure
one
this is-
episode? G-Man, do you remember when
Go
Billy
ahead.
and Paul fought?
G-Man, you're God.
Yeah, I
You're
know
God.
that.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Do you
G-Man.
remember that?
I don't
Yes.
think he remembers.
G-Man,
That
your
was acting.
God, your God is my grandmother's God. Your God is my auntie's God. Your God is so many other people's God that I respect. And I would never say the things I said to them about their God that I said to you about your God, because you brought upon a certain level of conversation that I felt needed to be delivered to you in a very crass,
So, for my
disgusting
fans
manner.
that are actually watching this, like the amazing atheist, this man's too scared to actually battle me and rap. Make a response to the
See,
Billy
this is
Bridge.
way more.
There's that
How
one
about
time he
this?
fought Paul, though. Do you remember
Yeah.
that? Do you remember when that happened?
I honestly, after what you said about the trans people, I don't really want to
Yeah,
have my
apparently he
name
lost a rap battle to a white
attached
guy.
to anything with
Here we
your
go,
name
ladies
on
and
it.
gents. Another
Rap
victory for
sucks.
G-Man. Another coward.
I know it
Oh,
does.
win.
G-Man wins. G-Man wins. G-Man
Like I
wins.
said,
G-Man
Billy, you ain't in the
wins.
hood, dude. You ain't as tough as you make yourself out to be.
Honestly, G-Man, I will.
Anybody can get a gun and show people that there's no bullets in it, and they hit the trigger and talk about what it means to be triggered. And anybody can get a bottle and pretend to hit somebody in the head, dude.
Yeah.
You ain't hood.
G-Man
You ain't hood.
If being hood
And you know the
means
funny thing is, my brother is a really big fan of you, Billy. I can't wait to show him this video.
damn, G-Man,
Okay.
damn, I can't believe I let down your brother.
I have the conversation recorded. I cannot wait to show him this
I'd like
video.
to talk to your brother.
If being hood,
You bring your brother on the
if being
show.
hood means in my mind, I think I'd ever be
That's right
tricked. I'd ever be tricked by somebody into being in a relationship with somebody I don't want to be with. That would be on me, dude. The hood in me would put that on me. I don't know why you to take your aggression out on somebody else. That's personal No, it's personal responsibility.
No responsibility on the other person, right?
You're 100% responsible not to find yourself in a relationship with somebody you don't want to be with.
Wait a minute. So what about the person who deceived you?
What about them? You're gonna beat the
What
shit
kind
out
of
of them?
responsibility is on the
You
person
gotta
who
take the
deceived you?
L. You gotta take the L for being. You gotta
What
take
you
the L
saying?
for being the person that fucking lets yourself get fooled.
Oh, okay. So you want the person who was deceived to take all of the responsibility, but the person who
Maynard
did the
says, I
deceiving
agree
should
with
take
you.
the
I've never
responsibility.
seen anybody
I'm sorry, but most
threaten
of our
anybody
reporters
else
here
more
in
than
America
G-Man.
would disagree with you, Billy. You're on crack cocaine.
And
Get
do
off of
you
it, dude.
think the
Seriously.
courts? Do you think the courts would agree with
No.
you for beating that
The
person
courts
with
are-
a
of course
baseball
they're gonna
bat?
agree with me. Oh, sir, all of this is on you. The person who deceived you and intentionally lied to you and told you all this stuff.
Your mind,
your responsibility is one
in
is-
your mind,
you're
where you
not
think
a
it's okay,
justice warrior, dude.
in your
Seriously.
mind,
Come
where you
on.
think it's okay to beat up somebody within an inch of their
I
life
think that
or
it is
further,
perfectly
you think
okay
it's
to deal
okay
with liars.
because
That's what I
you
think
fell
it is.
for
And
somebody
according
with
to
a
you, liars
PP?
should not be held accountable.
Because you
According to
fell
you,
for somebody with a
liars should
PP,
not
you're
be
gonna
held
take that
accountable.
aggression out on somebody
And I'm very
else.
disappointed because I thought you was real, and you're not as
Man,
real as
I'm real enough. I'm real enough to know. I'm real enough to know that I don't worry about falling in love with a girl with a PP to the point where I'd have to beat her up afterwards.
Well, you already said you like the PP.
I don't.
You already
I
said
know.
what you would do with the PP.
No, I don't like
Because
the
you're
PP.
bisexual.
I don't. If I was bisexual, all right, I'd be more sell-sexual because I'd get all the runoff and I'd sell it because I'm a pimp.
According to
I'm
you,
a
earlier in
pimp,
this show,
and
what did you tell me?
I'm
You
not
told
a
me that you would
Christian.
jack them
I'm a
off with your
monk.
hand.
I'm an actual monk, dude. I'm a pimp monk.
Wait.
Easy.
I do like that. Did you come up with that name yourself?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
A little bit more of a challenge.
I also invented the Bildora hat. What type of hat is that? It's not a fedora.
I like how earlier G-Man was like
a driver's hat.
I like how G-Man was like, you always treated me with disrespect, and then all he could mention was other people.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something.
Whatever, Ben.
It's
You're always
true.
respectful when I come on this show, but you're always trying to embarrass me when I come
No,
on
you
this show.
do that to yourself, dude.
G-Man.
G-Man, you do that to yourself.
Have my respect.
Like I said, you let some woman lie to me and it turns out to be a man. I didn't.
G-Man, I don't embarrass you. You say things and people hear what you say.
I will lay the smack it down.
Every bit of
He's ignoring me.
Like you have never seen somebody lay up the smack it down on somebody. A pimp monk, you
Because
need to
he
be a
thinks
good
he's The Rock.
mascot, dude, and
Yeah,
G-Man?
that whole wrestling
G-Man?
thing is embarrassing.
G-Man,
Oh yeah.
G-Man,
so
you're a
He's
you're
so
a-
crazy.
G-Man, you're a Christian man. You believe in
yeah, I'm
saving
a Christian
yourself.
man. I'm
you
having
believe,
a lot of fun right now.
You believe
As
in
a
saving
Christian man.
yourself till marriage, okay? You believe in the depth of a relationship.
I'm not a virgin.
Of course you're not. But I'm not saying you are.
No, I'm
And
not.
that's not what I'm getting to. That's not what I'm
That's
getting
another
to.
lie.
I think he's an
That's
incel.
not what
but-
I'm getting to. I don't believe you're a virgin, but you believe in deep connections. And if you
I don't
get
think
in a
any
deep
woman's ever jumped
connection
on
with
that
a
group.
person, and then it turns out that a part of their body doesn't line up with the person you deeply connected to, then you played yourself, dude.
No, I didn't.
I'm
I
sorry
don't
you
do
did.
men, I do women. There has
But if
nothing
you
to
could
do-
if you could
it
get
has
in a
nothing
deep
I
enough
put money
connection
that
by
you've never
your
had sex.
standards,
connection.
if you
The
get
moment
deeply
Just the way he
connected
talks
to
about
a
it.
woman,
Yeah, I put money on
you're
it.
lying to me. I'm going to lay the smack down.
and that's
I know Ben understands this. On their candy.
that's the problem. That's the problem, G-Man. That's the problem.
I like how he won't even say ass, but he'll beat the shit out of somebody with
I
a
know.
barbed wire bat. It's like, what?
That's illegal.
You'll beat the shit out of somebody with a barbed wire bat, but you won't say
about
ass.
my views about homosexuality. So unless you want to talk about that, I would change the topic if I were you.
Honestly, G-Man.
We heard your
Honestly, G-Man, I am not very comfortable with your topic on this stuff because of the violence there. I do feel
I know because you claim that you're a social justice warrior and you're
Man. It's not even about that, my dude. It's about you as a human being.
No, it is.
It's
And
about
you like
you. It comes down to you as a human
bucket, and I
being.
ain't got nothing to do with that, dude.
You can't
That's
take
your
personal
business. You like
responsibility.
it in the bucket. That's your own personal
You can't
business.
even take personal responsibility.
Hey, G-Man, how did you get that money that God gave you? Where was it exactly? Can you explain that in a little
What money
bit?
are you talking about?
You said one
Money
day
stole.
you prayed for money and then you just found money laying around.
Well, I'm not going to talk about that on this show today because I know there's a lot of atheists are using that as an opportunity to put words in my mouth. So I'm not.
I'm
gonna talk
asking
about
you
it.
to do it with your own words. I'm not putting words in your mouth.
No, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
You, now, do you realize it's easier for people?
With that.
Okay, but do you realize it's easier for people to put words in your mouth now that I've asked you about it and you're like not saying anything instead of you
Well, I'm
just
not,
saying what
because,
actually
like I
happened?
said, my experience is that the atheist community likes to put words in my mouth, and when I do it to them, they don't like it. The hypocrisy in this in y'all.
We're not in a community.
Do you think
We've
the
already
trans
established
community?
this. We're not in a community.
Do you think the trans community likes to put dicks in your mouth?
No, I don't know nothing about that, but I'm sure you got testimony.
Could you gargle? Could you gargle trans cum?
And that's the reason why you keep bringing it up, because I think it arouses you to bring that kind of thing up.
Do you like to kiss bearded ladies?
I think you do.
What you think and what I think are the same thing.
G-Man, are your
Let's go.
nipples pierced?
Let's go family style on a trans prostitute tonight.
Are we taking the
Like
red
I
eye
said,
to New York?
If
Yeah.
you're bisexual,
Going
that's you.
to
But that's
New
probably
York.
most of the atheist
If I could go to
community.
New York and get you a nice, tall,
most of the atheists
trans
about-
woman,
Yeah,
a nice,
bisexual,
tall, big dick
bi-curious,
trans
weirdos,
woman,
I ain't got no time for
would
none
you
of
go
that stuff.
family
got
style
her
with
to
me,
strange thing.
G-Man?
What?
Would you go family style on a nice, tall trans woman with me?
No.
Oh,
buffet those
That's
balls?
what, like, G-Man's like, I'll go to Seattle. We can just greet him at the airport with a bunch of drag queens and stuff.
What's going to happen to you?
That would be
if you
funny.
do that
Goal.
lifestyle?
But what if that trans gave you the best blowjob you could ever have, man?
No.
You don't like blowjobs, G-Man?
I only like 100% women.
But do
who
you
are
like
born
blowjobs?
to women.
I'm asking you, G-Man, do you like...
When you're getting a blowjob, you don't even know the dick is
I don't
there.
talk about what I like in bed in the bedroom on YouTube.
Well, you can get a blowjob anywhere. It don't have to be in bed.
Again, I don't talk about those kind of things.
Hold
on
on,
YouTube.
though. Last time you were on here, you were like licking an Oreo, like you were going down on a woman.
Yeah, I was eating that cookie. That cookie was delicious.
Okay, but you know what you were doing. Don't play coy.
do you
Yeah,
with
think
right.
us.
Shanny's got
I'm not
delicious
playing coy with
cookies?
you. I was eating that cookie and I was teasing Shanny.
Okay, well, the teasing part is the part we're
Do
talking
you think?
about.
Do you think that she got aroused watching you eat that cookie?
Pack of Oreos. Try it one day.
Did Shanny get aroused watching you eat that cookie?
I highly doubt it. That woman has a man and she's doing just fine.
Now, if you and Shanny hooked up and it turned out she had a big old
I've
swing
watched
and
them for
dang
the
bang,
last
would
couple
you
of
beat
days.
the
They're
shit out of
clearly
her?
not doing fine.
Shanny don't got a big.
I'll tell.
How do you know?
Okay, hold on though. Hold
Well,
on,
because,
G-Man. Hold on,
according to
G-Man.
her mother-
Why does Shanny have a
According
deep?
to her mother, she was born a woman.
Why does Shanny have a deeper voice than you?
Excuse me?
Shanny has a deeper voice than you.
What's
She
your point?
does.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, that's your subjective
And is it?
opinion.
It's not subjective that her voice is deeper. That's a fact.
G-Man.
Hold on.
Yeah, whatever.
Is
You
it
say
is
so.
it is it her deep voice that
so.
is what you said you found her attractive earlier? Is it her deep voice that turns you on the most?
No, you asked me, did I think she was attractive? And I
Okay.
said yes.
So is it well
Ew.
I like that the only woman I've ever heard you speak about being attracted to just happens to have a deeper voice than you. That's
Which is-
Crack me
interesting.
up. That is not the only
That's
woman I
notably
said that,
a male
that I thought was
trait.
pretty on YouTube. You guys are just making stuff up out of the blue today, huh?
No, we're not making it up. G-Man.
Can I
Yeah,
play
yeah,
your
yeah,
voice and
yeah,
her
yeah,
voice
yeah.
side by
I'm very
side?
disappointed in you, Ben. You can do better than this. Come on, man.
G-Man. Shanny is somebody who you think is attractive, that you have a connection to. You have a human
I
friendship.
mean, he's also
relationship.
sexually harassed burnt
Yeah,
toast,
yeah.
but he doesn't
I
know what she
think
looks
she's
like.
yeah.
a fine-looking woman. I
I don't have
know.
a personal issue with Shanny at all.
But my
Which
my
that right there I
statement
find
is,
despicable too,
if
because he
it
keeps
turned
calling her a
out
16-year-old
you got
girl.
close to Shanny
Yeah.
and you were with Shanny and she had a
Like
penis.
he
Would
legit
you hold yourself to your
thinks
standards of violence, knowing
women are
that
lesser
as
than men.
well as you do,
Oh, yeah.
Like,
and having that
for
much
sure.
care for her, would
Yeah.
you still beat her with a baseball bat?
No, in your fictional example,
Yeah.
I wouldn't use a baseball bat. No,
Oh.
So you would.
I would push her out of a window.
God damn it!
He's getting creative.
God damn it.
All right, G-Man. I don't know what else to say. I was enjoying talking to you for a while, and now I just kind of feel like this is.
Well, and I greatly
dirty
appreciate the
conversation.
invite. You guys called me out of the blue. I had no preparation.
Thank you
to
for
come in
answering.
here.
You say this
Don't
every
afraid to
time
stop
though.
hiding under the table, dude, and hit me up with those bars.
Yeah, thank you for answering, G-Man.
Yeah.
No.
We
I know
really
you guys are gonna cut that up and do things with it. Have fun with it.
There's
man.
no need
we
to cut
never
it up.
cut anything
We're
up.
gonna have Hannibal make a song
all of
about
our
it.
all of our streams are live and they get uploaded directly to YouTube.
Hannibal's
Nothing
gonna
gets
make
cut
a
up.
song called "Push Her
Hannibal
Out the
is
Window."
very good
He's
at
good. He's
taking my voice clips and then making
Is
garbage.
TJ still on the drunken
You can
peasant?
go ahead and do it.
The
You are in
audacity?
fridge.
No, this
gives me
is
great pleasure
Ben
to
Billy
open your
and
behind
and
know that you
Pipmup.
can't come back.
yeah. Well,
after
I'll
that.
That's
tell,
like a
I'll tell you
new
what.
cast
I'll
or
tell you
whatever, I
what.
guess.
You're gonna have to hit me with a baseball bat.
I
'cause
guess
got a dick,
I haven't
G-Man.
seen them in years.
No, you
I,
don't.
I,
Like I said,
never,
big old
I never
swag.
watched
Say
the
this.
show. I just heard of
I
it. But I
used to have
never
a little
seen
bit
it.
of like and respect for you.
I mean,
Jim, but after the shit you
Oh,
said
stop
tonight,
it, dude. What
after
are you
the
doing?
shit you
Explain
said
to the
tonight,
audience. I've been
I
talking to you
hope
for
you
years.
get hit by
I got a
Whatever
message
you say,
saying that
okay,
he
well,
was, you know, he
yeah,
was all
my
drunk and
feelings are still
hesitant.
hurt.
So
Yeah,
I jumped over real quick and searched
You
it
are
up.
stupid.
I don't want to
That
hurt.
was
I
about
don't want
it.
to hurt your feelings, G-Man. But
You
I
are bigoted fuck.
I do wish you'd take more personal responsibility for
I wish you would take some personal responsibility for your homosexuality.
Oh,
That's what I wish you would do.
for one, G-Man, for one, I've probably had purer relationships with women than you ever have. I would.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's not the case.
Well, I mean,
think I turn down more women on a daily basis than you had in your life.
maybe you have. Maybe you have, G-Man. Maybe you have.
And I'm aware of your work.
Maybe you have.
So,
but none of that matters to me. What matters to me is if you're ever in a position where you find yourself in love with a woman and it turns out she has a penis, I hope you can find it in yourself.
Push her out of the window, beat her up with a baseball bat.
Nope.
set her
Take
on fire,
responsibility.
push her in the ocean or
Take
something,
responsibility. Take responsibility for the fact that your heart let you fall in love with another human being.
Definitely, no responsibility goes on the person who deceived you. Oh, yeah,
No, it
definitely.
doesn't.
That's
It
the
doesn't.
stupidest thing I ever heard in my life.
It doesn't. You don't get to kill somebody because they have a penis.
What's anything about killing them? Where are you
don't
getting
get
this?
to beat them to their
Pushing
life
them
'cause
out
they
of
have
a window,
penis.
setting them on fire.
You don't get to commit
I just wanna make sure
violence
that they
to a
don't never
human.
do that to somebody else.
Dude, setting someone on fire is attempted
understand-
murder.
do you understand the problem,
That would be a little bit
G-Man?
nicer. Maybe it doesn't make you feel better.
The problem is
Maybe
this
maybe it
human
doesn't make you feel
being,
better.
this
I
person.
would get the coronavirus and inject them with it. I think
This-
that's what I would
No,
do.
this person
that
was
make you
willing
feel
to
better?
open up their heart to you.
Yeah, 'cause that's
and
better.
because they had an extra part between their legs, you became a violent, disgusting human being. You need to just
I'm a
accept
vile, disgusting human being.
Yes.
in the
because I got angry 'cause
situation.
somebody lied at me.
Yes.
You know what, Billy?
Take
Dude,
responsibility.
No wonder you didn't make no rap battle. You
Take
stink at dissing, dude.
responsibility for
Seriously, you don't know how
falling
to
in
diss
love with
nobody.
somebody with a penis, dude. Take
You don't know how
responsibility
to diss
for it.
nobody, Billy. But you're a fake social justice warrior just like Drag is.
No, man, I'm a real social
We
justice.
don't know that
I'm the
person.
ultimate justice warrior.
You are
I know
not.
who Drag
a
is. The
real
Drags
social
make
justice
G-Man
warrior.
look like a fucking
And I
idiot.
better
Over and
never
over
hear
and
Black Lives Matter come out of your mouth, dude. I will have you for dinner.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
I will have you for
Black
dinner.
Lives Matter, G-Man.
Yeah, prove it.
G-Man,
You don't think Black Lives Matter?
all
G?
Black Lives matter.
You told me you never wanted to hear that come out of my mouth.
Just want to support the LGBT agenda.
The
That's what you wanna
LGBT
do. You
agenda.
want to support.
So
Listen, I
Black
know who
Lives
runs
Matter.
I'm going to
is
say
the
Black Lives
LGBT
Matter.
agenda.
G-Man lost his black card.
The LGBTQ community runs Black Lives Matter.
You're all about community. Everyone's like this cohesive
Black
community.
people. All they want to do is have an excuse so that you communists can come in our churches and destroy our churches and steal our property.
Damn
and then
right, nobody.
offend you. Do you honestly think you're talking to somebody stupid? Come on, man. Stop.
Yes. Oh, yes, we
Stop
do.
it. I know what you communists are trying to do.
G-Man, how do you feel about prisons?
How do I feel about prisons?
Yeah, prisons in America, the prison system.
I believe it's a form of slavery.
Yeah, we're on the same level there. I would like to know where we have common ground on any sort of belief. Because this
is
killing,
what me and you got common ground.
Yeah.
You spit those bars and I'll spit them bars.
You know,
back at you.
but by the way, he doesn't think all slavery is wrong necessarily. So.
I don't.
Nope.
Oh fuck, I forgot about that.
So you just said
And
that's
neither
where
do
you
you.
agree.
And neither do you, Ben. You want to see how fast I can prove it?
Oh my God, I'm afraid
You
to
support
ask.
the prison
It's
system,
going to be
yes
the
or no?
NBA
No.
or banks.
Yep.
Wait a minute. So what should we do with criminals?
Well, we should stop creating
Rehabilitation?
criminals for profit.
We should do what?
We should stop creating criminals for profit.
Right.
Well, I agree with you there. See, me and you are on common ground here.
And a
I
big
do
part of
believe
that is
we should stop
legalizing
creating
weed
criminals for
everywhere.
profit. But in order to do that, okay, you still have to have an alternative for the people who still are going to commit crimes.
Well,
So
what
please
kind of
answer the
crimes are we
question.
talking about?
What should we do with the prison system?
Which kind of crimes are we talking about? Because like if you just made weed legal, there'd be so many less people in prison.
Drugs should be
What should we do with
legalized.
murderers?
They should go to prison. There should be
Okay, so you support
prisons.
the prison system.
There should be
See how bad
prisons,
that was?
but they should
You
be
support
they,
slavery.
Not slavery,
It's really
punishment. Punishment.
That's why your boy Matt Dillahunty, and I'm going to say this
Oh
publicly.
my God.
That's why your boy
Here's Matt Dillahunty. You name dropped someone else.
G-Man, your name drops are like 5 years out of the fucking ordinary, dude.
Actually, I already kind
He's got like a murder
So
bone
old.
for Matt Dillahunty.
I hope you fall in love. I hope you fall in love with a nice trans woman, and when it comes time to take that baseball bat out, you just take out that beautiful penis and you give it a kiss because you deserve love.
I'm going to push him out a window. That's
You
what I'm
deserve love. You deserve love, G-Man. And I hope you find it wherever you can, even if it is a beautiful transhuman.
Fucking bigot, G-Man.
Push them out the window. No, Pimp Monk, you are.
Oh, but he'll only push them out the window if they're on the first or second floor. Did you hear
need to
that?
repent of your sins.
You deserve love, G-Man.
My ball sack. You
homosexuality, my friend.
You deserve love, G-Man, wherever it is.
You deserve a fucking beat.
I get love all the time.
Do
and
you?
Just because you guys are ganging up on me, don't mean that doesn't mean I don't get love.
I'm not trying to gang up on you. I was trying to be on your side because I did feel like there was a pig pile earlier. I was trying to get closer with you on these things, and then you said the whole thing about beating up somebody because you fell in love with them, and I'm like, God, that's so gross to me.
Pimp Monk is acting like he's so hard. Yo, Pimp Monk, like I said, I'll be in New York tomorrow, man. But try to have a beer or two, and then bring your behind out here, and then let's have this conversation in public, and then you'll know how the Hebrew Israelites feel.
Did you beat up the Hebrew Israelites?
Oh yeah, I go out there and take on 40 of them at a time. You
Oh,
think I'm worried about
verbally?
them one-
Verbally, yes.
You're not in a gangbang, right? You're not talking about a gangbang?
The Hebrew Israelites will, as much as they don't like me, if they see him even coming anywhere near me, I can promise you they're gonna be all over him.
Because they call him gay man. Because they don't kiss him.
G-Man.
I wasn't born
So
yesterday.
you admit you have to have other people fight.
G-Man, Billy does the
Bottom
G-Man.
line is, dude, at the end of the day, Pimp Monk, you ain't on my level, dude.
Wow.
I'm not on your level. You're right. I'm not a bigot. I'm not on your level. I am not a bigot.
G-Man,
right.
I hope you and your brother.
You are a bigot. Yeah, you're right about that. You are a total bigot, Pimp Monk.
Okay.
I hope
How
you
am
and
I
your brother
bigot, G-Man?
continue supporting me and
bigot.
listening to my
You're a
music. I
bigot
appreciate that.
because you know that homosexuality is wrong.
No, I don't.
Is your brother
Yes,
a
you
big
do.
Christian like you are, G-Man?
Homosexuality is unnatural.
How's it unnatural?
Is your brother a big time
Well,
Christian?
How do we reproduce? Do we reproduce with a man and a man and a
But
woman and a
then
woman?
why is
Or
the
do we reproduce with opposite sex?
but then why is the male G spot buried in their asshole?
Yeah.
Ken Hovind does a better job of.
What about women who can't get
The
pregnant?
bottom line is at the end of the day. The
What
bottom
about
line
women
is
who
at
can't
the
get
end of the
pregnant,
day-
G-Man?
The bottom line is at the end of the day, the man is the one walking around with the seed.
What about women who can't get
He's
pregnant?
walking around with the eggs, and in order to fertilize those eggs, the man has to have sex
But
with
what
a
if she can't get
woman.
pregnant? What if she's Sarah? What if she can't get pregnant? Is she a useless human being?
Oh, I would never say that a woman that can't get pregnant is a useless
But-
human being. I would never say something
Unless
like
it's
that.
G-Man,
about.
why
I
do
will
you
say
think?
this,
But
Yeah.
you said
I
it's
said
all
that
about
exact same thing
reproduction.
about her.
unnatural.
No, you just said it was about reproduction. So it'd be unnatural for a man to have sex with a woman who can't get pregnant.
Isn't pleasure natural, and wouldn't it be natural if the pleasure center is in your asshole to have ass sex?
I know you get better than that, dude. Seriously.
Well, why do you think it's unnatural to deny yourself to take into pleasure, to enjoy pleasure?
Regardless, all of the STDs that you can get by having sex with the same sex all the
You
time.
can get a
especially men on
disease
men.
from walking in the
Regardless,
streets without a mask
Not
on.
to mention the short lifespans that
It's
you typically
unnatural
have
to wear a
in those
mask.
relationships. Don't even get me started. Listen to me. I don't hate gay people. I don't hate them in the least bit. I've toured in New York, the men's gays. What is it? The men's gays health clinic, and I learned a lot from them about health and
You went down
things
to the
like
health
that.
spa, the men's health
As far
spa.
as actually
You went to
engaging
gay
in their sexual
spa?
activity, that will never. And the Rock means
I didn't even know that existed.
happen.
So what if
I
one
didn't either.
try to grab your dick? Well,
I've had that happen. I had some of them flirt with me before, and I told them no.
And
I
you
don't
didn't
go that
murder
route.
them?
Murder them because they flirted with me? No, I'll just preach the gospel.
But you'll
to them.
murder a trans woman?
Let me tell you something. I ain't never
Yeah.
said nothing about murder them. I said I'll push them out of a window.
God.
That is murder.
I never
You
said
also
about
said
murder them.
you
I'll
also
beat 'em
said
with a
you'd set them
baseball
on
bat.
fire, which
I'll
is
set 'em on
also
fire.
attempted murder.
I never said murder, but I'll stab them in the
You know,
neck.
I never said I murder you. I just said I'd run you over with a truck.
I never said murder, but I'll shoot them with an
Actually, I might do
AR-15.
that, too. might do that too if I can
Okay,
find a way for them
so
to
you're
survive.
acknowledging now that the things you're saying are at least attempted murder. if you do them.
It's actually quite possible you can run somebody over with a truck and they'll survive.
You would be charged with attempted murder if they
Murder.
survived.
Would be charged, and then I will win my case.
If you
for
push someone out of a
temporary
window and
insanity.
they survived, you'd be
That would
charged with
crazy
attempted murder.
angry, just like any other red-blooded
You're an
American
idiot.
who is lying like that.
If you do something that could likely kill somebody and they survive, it's called attempted murder, and you would be charged with it. And this includes pushing them out a window, running them over with a truck, setting them on fire, all of that.
Talk about that and how this community has been doing that.
I'm not in a community. I'm not in a community.
You realize? You realize?
I'm not. You just use that as your look. You use the community thing so that you can paint everyone with the same brush. So when one person does something, you're like, oh, that atheist did that to me. This other person's an atheist too. So it's kind of like they did it to me.
Is Dr. Phil your dad or something?
What?
More
Is Dr.
deflecting.
Phil your dad? Because you're acting like you're some type of psychiatrist, and
shouldn't we all act that way though? Shouldn't we all act like some type of psychiatrist? Shouldn't we all delve into the thought process of people? Shouldn't we all hold each other accountable for our mental?
Based on what standard?
I don't know words.
Oh no!
I agree with you. Based on what standard?
Don't fall into this.
Why shouldn't Ben be a fucking Dr. Phil?
That trap. You heard that?
Why shouldn't Ben be a Dr.
You don't
Phil?
have a standard to judge anybody.
Why shouldn't Ben? Why not? Do you think because only God can judge you that you can't be a crazy, weird, awkward loser human? Because only God can judge you, so you're fine in God's eyes. So you can be a violent. You can be a violent, scared human being.
You would never have to belittle somebody in order to feel good about yourself.
So
am I belittling you?
Well, you guys try on a regular basis. You've been doing this for 10 years, for crying out loud.
20 years.
Give up and realize you're fighting.
20
you're
years
fighting
now,
a point
G-Man.
before.
All we do is talk to you, and you say crazy things that make you look bad. We don't make you look bad. All we do is talk to you.
Different opinions than you. I thought morality was subjective. Now you're arguing for objective morality. Like, I'm a great debater. If you talk about this with me, I'm gonna have to start asking you about where you get your right and wrongs from.
That's not even what this conversation is about. Okay, so is beating someone to death, attempting to murder them because they lied to you, justified? Is that morally right?
Actually, Mick Foley uses fake barbed wire, and Mick Foley also doesn't really hit them with full force.
That's not real.
Hold on. You went from making us think. You went from making us think you were going to violently almost murder a trans person to now you're making us think you want to wrestle with them?
No, what I want to do is this. Is I want to teach them a lesson they'll never forget.
You want to have a hardcore wrestle with them?
Okay, apparently this is his
Don't you
defense
understand? They should be your lesson.
You tell me that you're a woman and I find out you're a man, I'm going to throw you in quicksand. But before you drown, I'm going to grab you and bring you back up.
G-Man.
Tell you if you ever do this again, I'm going to throw you back in there and I'm not going to save you.
Shouldn't you falling for this person with a penis be your lesson? Shouldn't that be the lesson you've learned and you should move on?
If a person deceives me into telling me that they are a woman and then they turn out to be a man, they should be strong enough to defend themselves.
So how is torturing someone because they lied to you morally right?
Don't have no
I think,
and they'll probably be easy pickings if they're overtrained.
Hey, G-Man. So how is it morally right to torture someone because they lied to you?
Wait a minute, I'm sorry, say that again?
How is it morally right to torture someone because they lied to you?
I can do that to all of you in here if y'all don't stop lying about me.
Hey, answer the question, asshole. Answer the question. Answer the question. Answer the question. I'm not talking about God. I'm not talking about God. I'm talking about you. Answer the question. How is it morally right to torture someone because they lied to you?
From God. I get my morality from God.
Am I fucking asking you where you're getting it from?
God did torture people.
You get your morality from your personal opinion.
Hey, I'm asking you a simple question. Can you answer it? Can you answer it?
No, he can't.
You can't answer it, can you?
Look.
Because hold on.
I get my morality from God.
I didn't ask you where you got your morality from, you idiot. I didn't ask you where you got your morality from. I asked you, is it morally right to torture someone because they lied to you? Yes or no?
I believe in this.
This is
If
yes
you
or no.
lie I believe in something called sowing and reaping. If you go into something and you know that you're lying to the person, you're gonna reap exactly what you deserve. Okay? So let's say Pimp Monk is telling me, G-Man, let's go for a walk, right? Let's give you a perfect example of this. Pimp Monk says, G-Man, let's go for a walk.
You're doing
We're gonna
everything
walk
but
down this
answering my
alley and
question
just
right now, by the
to this
way.
particular location. And then he brings me down the alley, and I know this is a really weird
This is also
analogy.
his
He brings
horrible
me down this alley, and
analogies.
we're lost, and we don't know where we're going. I'm going to rip Pip Monk a new one by saying, dude, you told me you knew where you was going, and you don't know where you're going. You got us lost. So he's going to read.
Maynard, after a year of dealing with him, I'm actually convinced that he is this hateful and stupid.
What the fuck are you talking about?
In the same way that if a person comes to me,
Yeah.
oh, I'm a woman, but I turn out to be a man, what's going to end up happening is this. They're going to suffer the wrath of G-Man.
And what does that mean? What does that entail?
Wrath of G-Man is going to be me. And then, like I said, it depends on the situation. Maybe I'll throw urine on them. I don't know.
That's still assault.
Actually, Paul,
Biological warfare.
Something like that.
Yeah,
You know what? I don't
Paul's
remember.
pee-pee
I've
on
never,
me.
I never heard anyone talk about that before.
I might throw them off a bus while it's moving.
That's
I
attempted
might,
murder.
I don't know,
So is that morally justified? Is that morally justified?
Branch right in the head.
Is that morally justified? You still haven't answered. You just gave me an example of what you would do.
I don't know. I'll do something like that.
Is it morally justified?
Huh?
I'm asking you the same.
And I think most of the world would agree. Well, actually, I don't know about most of the world these days because most of the world is just straight up evil.
So those actions are morally justified?
G-Man, do you believe in
Dude,
God?
you cannot answer a simple
Us
question.
evil
G-Man, do you
people
believe in
don't
God?
think it's morally justified.
Yes, I do. His name is Jesus the Christ, the Son of the living God.
And what do you believe God does? Does he judge?
Yes, he does. He's going to throw people in a lake of fire.
Then why not let God judge them? Why not let God judge them if they deceive you? Why not?
The
Christ. I can do that too.
Yeah, why
Depends
not
how
just let
angry
it
I am.
leave it?
Let me calm down. Let God deal with
So,
this person, or I can be.
But
leave it to God.
You haven't answered if because you follow God's morality. Does that fall within God's morality to torture someone because they lied to you?
Again, if you lie to God and you don't repent, you're going to the lake of fire.
It's not my question at all. Why is this question so hard for you?
Somebody lies to me. Let me ask you something, Ben.
No.
Okay, I don't know if you're in a relationship with somebody.
No. I want you to answer my question. I asked you a question.
Hold on a minute. Trying to keep me on the defense. Hold on a minute.
No. I'm not letting you deflect. I am not letting you deflect on this.
If your wife
I asked you a bunch
Billy the Bridge and you came home and they was in your marriage bed, what would you do?
What a dumb deflection. Okay, so you can't answer my question. So what you're saying is you can't answer my question.
I know that much.
So what you're saying is you can't answer my question.
No, I can answer your question. You don't like my analogy. That's what it is.
No, the problem is
it's an easy question.
No, but say that you don't understand analogies. I don't know.
The problem is that you think that somebody else's body is at your mercy because they deceived you. You think the equivalence of you being wronged is to beat somebody and torture somebody and hurt somebody.
It'll make you feel better. I won't beat though.
I really hope you don't.
If it'll make you
honestly,
feel better.
G-Man, I hope you never come across a trans person in your entire life.
If it'll make you feel better and feel like you got butterflies in your stomach, what I'll do is I'll get a bag of honey and a jar of honey. I'll throw it on them, and then go get some bees and let the bees have them for dinner. That's what I'll do.
It's you know what. It's just funny that you have to be so outwardly against something to prove that you're not part of it. Like the man in me would just say, "Oh, I'm not into it," and walk away. But you gotta be like, I would murder. I am so insecure with my life that I would murder somebody twice if they even farted in my mouth.
I can do my thing.
I see insecurity. I see weakness when you say things like that.
If you see insecurity, dude, then I don't know what school you went to.
I mean, I didn't learn this in school. I had a good father that taught me how to be comfortable in my own skin.
I know you guys can't handle my opinions and whatnot, and that's all fine and well. But
your opinions are bigoted.
Before it's too late, because your day's coming, and y'all need to repent.
Thank you, G-Man. I'll keep that in consideration.
Good. Good.
We're gonna end this
anyway,
though.
With that being said, Pitmonk, when you gonna throw them bars at
I'm
me?
done with you, buddy. I don't want to talk
Okay,
to you.
great, Pitmonk. You've been hearing me say this for years, and now you want to pretend like this is the first time. I can go find the video and show people how many times
There's no
you said
off
them.
switch.
G-Man, thank you for answering the call tonight. Thank you for answering the call. This has been a very interesting conversation. I hope you have a good rest of your night, and I really hope Pitmonk shows up to New York and does was it a dance battle?
Yeah, I'll be in New York tomorrow. Yeah, we have a lot of fun.
I'll be praying for you tonight, G-Man.
G-Man, I'll send 4 people there tomorrow at noon if you want to have a dance battle.
I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna show up because they know better.
I'm gonna pray for you.
Yeah, who are you gonna pray to?
Satan! Kicked him out. All right.
Oh, dude, I honestly, I'm not even joking. I lost any kind of respect I have for that motherfucker tonight.
Oh, so did
I see a sad little man in a lot of ways, and that I feel bad for him that he would think that way about people. But
anyway,
yeah, I didn't know the drunken peasants even existed still. So cool.
Yeah, it's like nobody here says. You know, he's not a Poe. He just amps it up when he's on video. Plus, he really can't control himself.
Yeah,
the guy's got no impulse control whatsoever.
If it was an act, that shit would be Academy Award winning. You know, and he ain't that good.
Yeah. This is you know, if it was an act, this would be like Leonardo DiCaprio playing the retarded kid in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Good.
Yeah, okay. And he ain't that good. Yeah. Not that good.
No. And
he really is just an absolute loser, man. Just he's kind of retarded.
He's a piece of trash with some weird delusions of genius.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea. I mean, I can only dig so deep into what I perceive as what remains of his psyche, but
imagine what he would be like if he never became Christian, because he ain't a Christian, but that little bit imagine what he'd be like if he never, you know, people would definitely be physically harmed, I think, but it would be more like over stupid shit, like he wouldn't like beat people up, but I think like you know, like he'd burn stuff down and then people got injured because of it, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, he'd have no sense whatsoever of collateral damage.
Yeah, that's like people would be injured by collateral damage without a doubt, man. Like if he had I don't know why the fuck he doesn't have a license, but you know, he hit people just in his car just out of just not paying attention and shit, you know.
Well, Maynard brings up a good point there.
Mm-hmm.
Acts like a child, jokes like a child, raps like a child, talks like a child. But see, the sad part is you know, a lot of these videos that I'm watching of his, I've got to watch with my headset in and usually just, you know, walking around the house. I'm usually just listening to him.
Mm-hmm.
When my kids walk past me and they hear him, I'll literally hear them groan. It's like, are you listening to him again? And it was like, yeah, I've got to, you know, I'm trying to keep up with all the drama going on because, I mean, especially the last couple of days, because he has been left and right just going off. And I mean, today alone, he live streamed for hours. I mean, he missed his interview with Vaughn. He missed his trip to Times Square, and it's ridiculous. Imagine.
Yeah.
Maynard, are you using like a talk to text thing? Because that.
Maynard saves. Was he talking about the guy from Tool? I'm guessing.
No, I'm looking at what he actually typed. I'm assuming
No,
the
I'm talking about
translation
like
would
his
be
name, Maynard.
Yeah. I don't know. Maynard was a what term of endearment around here when I was growing up.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of the singer from Tool.
Let's see here. Okay, translation. Could you imagine G-Man's life if he wasn't blessed by God? Yeah, that's yeah, like you said earlier. That's there would be a whole lot of collateral damage.
Oh man, I am sleepy. I think I'm gonna tap out. It's almost 5 a.m. Son of a bitch. Are me and you in the same time zone?
No, I'm in Oklahoma. It's almost 7 here.
Really?
Yeah.
I have no idea where Oklahoma is.
We're the hat on top of Texas.
Oh, okay. It's not far. So it's almost
1,500 miles.
It's almost 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Word. Normally, if I'm up at this hour, I'm jerking off to porn.
Well, normally, if I'm up at this hour, it's going to be an all-nighter. I'll just go
Instead, I'm
ahead and
talking
make breakfast for the kids. Do it.
Instead, I'm talking to you.
Well, I appreciate it.
All right. Well, I'm going to tap out.
Yep.
I'm sleepy.
We'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Speed bag. I'm going to hound you until we get it done.
You're going to have to give me a few weeks because, like I said, I've got to wait until stimulus comes in before I can afford it.
We could do it cheap. If you look at my other videos.
Oh, yeah. I saw your sister beating on that thing.
Yeah. And my Spanish videos are actually a lot. I think they're better at showing you how to do, because I did Spanish videos just because I thought it would be funny hearing me speak Spanish. And
yeah, I saw you struggling on that one with the heavy bag.
Yeah. And so and surprisingly, a lot of my viewers are from Latin America. So I did because I thought it would be funny. But I think those are better videos. You don't need to understand. You can just watch, figure it out.
Okay, so yeah, Maynard, I guess your picture is from Tool. Nobody here.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Maynard, singer from Tool. His father was a minister.
Ah.
Now Maynard sells wine or something. All right, Monkey Man. I'm taking off.
Yep. Have a good one. Oh, yeah, you too. Oh, well, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and I guess make breakfast for my kids. Get ready for the day. Shit. And like I said at the beginning, I did get some change, or did get some money put together. So I'm going to go ahead and get back on my diet this week too. So that's probably going to start tomorrow, just because I prefer. Oh yeah, I hear you there, Maynard. But yeah, the diet's probably going to start tomorrow, just because I prefer having a full night's sleep before I get into that. It tends to get irritating. If not, I tend to get grouchy when I go more than 36 hours awake. But yeah, think rationally, eat your meat. It's good for you. You guys have a good one.